Hey there, it's BitB, and welcome out to another BitB stream. Thanks for coming out. It is Saturday, and I am playing Phoenix Wright Dual Destinies. How's everybody doing? Hope that didn't scare the crap out of you. But anyways... oh, objection! Oh my god, you have no idea. I am so freaking pumped for this. I have been waiting for so long. Like, I remember seeing the previews for this a really long time ago when it was coming out. I forget where it was teased initially. But I was really into the idea of like a 3D Phoenix Wright type of adventure, especially like it looked like it was very well done, and I was really looking forward to playing it. But I also knew that I needed to make sure that I had as much backlog as possible done and taken care of. And I loved playing through all of the games, but this is like one game I've been really looking forward to. And according to some people in the chat, apparently it's pretty freaking good. So I say I should just jump directly into that. How about that? So let's do it. Move over to the game window. Also start up the sounds for the 3DS. By the way, my conductor says Smash Bros. Characters and... oh, wait. Your conductor says the Smash Bros. Characters and my working hat, Steel Declaration of Independence, was great. And also great that Hat Kit map was real. Oh, definitely. So much love for Hat in Time mods and stuff. Yeah, that one video, the whole like Smash Bros, but the announcer is the conductor thing, that just came to me in like a random little bit of inspiration. I'm just like, what if? And then I literally came up with the idea the day before Smash happened, and then I buffed it out within the span of a little close to about a week, something like that. Oh yeah, I noticed that your map, it's on like number 8 most popular. I almost wanted to send you a message being like, hey, your map is like number 1 on the most popular thing this week. But I'm just like, you probably already know. Anyways, let me go ahead and turn on the audio for the game. There we go. Move over to game tab. What the heck? Don't you be spoiling things, computer. I'm not entirely sure what happened there. New trilogy Ace Attorney is best. Awesome. Oh, hello, Mario came on over in the Twitch. I made it! Yes, you did. Okay, anyway, is there anything that I am currently missing here? I don't think so. I think we got everything set and ready to go. Here we are. Again, we've been through this. We've been through this. And now we're moving on to this. New trilogy is Ace Attorney 4 through 6, if I don't know. Well, I really, really liked Apollo Justice Ace Attorney, which is funny because I had heard basically nothing about it. So I'm looking forward to seeing what happens in Ace Attorney Dual Destinies. Did I find out if I can get the DLC? Yes, I did. Turns out the DLC is hidden behind actually starting the game, and then you have to go and get it after you start one game save file. So I did that, but I didn't actually go and do anything in the game. I just, like, averted thine eyes. And then I went and I bought all it. CC? Anywho. So, I assume episode select will just allow me to go, yep, episode 1, turnabout countdown from episode start. It's referred to as New Trilogy, partly because it's not the original writer. That's true. Turnabout count, okay, start from the beginning? Oh, absolutely. Hopefully the audio is well balanced. It's balanced for the other 3DS game we just played. Uh-oh. Oh dear. Yep. So that everyone get out! This is about the only thing that could possibly kill the judge. I think he's eternal unless you blow him up. Well, that sets a tone, doesn't it? This game's da bomb. Waka waka.
Are dark times, where the law has been reduced to rubble, and it's up to us to restore it to its former glory.
Oh my god. So dramatic, and oh, here we are.
Yeah.
The Wright Anything Agency.
What you mean? It looks like your target finally decided to make a move. Don't you worry. I've got a trusty new partner on board.
Really? When and how? I knew who this is. I have not seen much of her, though.
Ready to go? You bet. Let's do this.
I'd like to have that glove, please.
She's been with us for half a year, though I can hardly believe it. Anyway, her power will be our greatest weapon.
Oh, darn. So, for some reason, I'm getting these weird vibes of Dumb and Dumber. Remember that one scene on the staircase? Race to the top!
Yeah, it's for this.
Typical anime character.
Time to bring it to an end.
Yeah, there's the question. You're donning the robes? Question being, is he gonna say anything about all the crap that recently happened as of late? Or are we just gonna, like, pass that off and be like, eh, let's just ignore it. It's like, how did you get up the courage to finally get back into the courtroom? Apollo Justice was kind of hardcore on him. Oh, look how fresh-faced he is. Ah, Mario Pokemon moved over to the YouTube. Hello, Apollo. Oh, that's a straight-up anime-looking thing, if ever there was one. The moon. Episode 1, Turnabout Countdown. Apollo edgy as ever. I don't know, I don't remember Apollo being that edgy. Oh boy. So, I picked, oh goddammit. Best thing about bombs is how they erase and destroy without discretion. Right, I've seen this guy from previews. Jackass. Now all I have to do is pin everything on that little girl. This game's timeline is weird. And Mario says, not really. Outside the courtroom. Classic. December 17th, 9:22 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby, number 5. Nope, not feeling nervous at all. It's amazing what a girl can get used to. Even a tense atmosphere like this is no biggie. You doing okay, Athena? Hey, it's Apollo! No, Apollo! Yeah, doing great. Like, I'm a little tuned great. Oh, yeah? Well, that's good to hear. Although, I could have sworn I heard your voice crack for a second there. Ugh, I'm that transparent, huh? Cracking? No, my voice isn't cracking. Nerves of steel. Here, I tell you. Yeah, I missed a lot of the characters that, well, I've been doing this gigantic retrospective of playing the Ace Attorney investigation series and moving back over to Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright. So, like, a lot of the Apollo Justice characters, I'll be looking forward to seeing maybe if any of them come back. That'll be fun. This is Apollo Justice. He's a fellow lawyer at the office I work for. Apollo is the lead for the defense on this case. But I'm gonna be there at the bench with him, doing what I can to help out. I'll do whatever it takes to defend Junie. Oh. Speaking of steel, how are you holding up? That explosion really did a number on you. As long as his cords of steel are fine, then he'll live. I'm just happy that you're okay, Athena. Although, I can't pretend I have no connection to this case. That's why I'm gonna see it that Juniper's name is cleared. And I'm sure you feel much the same way. You got that right. I won't rest until Junie is completely cleared of all suspicions. Of fiction. Apollo, Athena. Oh, hello. I assume you are probably Junie. Thank you for doing this for me. Junie! Junie Woods. That sounds about right. I'm actually getting over not really getting over it. I'm still a little bit sick with this thing that's been going around. But it's fine. It seems to be affecting my sinuses and not too much my throat. So, I'm fine. Hey, are you okay? Hyperventilating into a flower. Sorry about that. I always seem to go into coughing fits whenever I get nervous. This kind of thing never happens at home in the forest, though. Actually, that does remind me of, I lived up in the cities for about like 2 months, and the entire time I was there, my sinuses, my nose, and everything was on fire. Because I wasn't used to being in an area that's had just, like, that much smog and pollution. Press the button on the left of the bottom screen. The left of the bottom screen? Oh, right, yeah. Oh, convenience. Scrolling through all the stuff that you've talked about previously. Good. You have a mountain of gift cards from Christmas and your birthday. How lucky. This is Juniper Woods. She's my dear, dear childhood friend. And she's also our client for this case. And a tree hugger. The news keeps repeating that Junie is the alleged bomber. Yep. This is a bombing criminal right here. Where the hell did she get all the explosives? Again, from a tree stump? But that's ridiculous. There's no way Junie would do anything like that. I brought you a little snack, Thena. Just a little something from my garden. Hey, thanks. So, is this an orange or a tangerine? It's an orange. My grandma says that orange is the color of strength and endurance. Oh, gee. How convenient that I'm kind of orange-palated. Oh, I get it. Strength for the trial, right? Junie, you're always so good to me. You bet the cop who arrested Junie is the same one who arrested Machi Tabai. Probably. Jeez, look at me. Standing here, clutching an orange to my chest with tears in my eyes. Well, don't you worry. We'll be so powerful in there, they won't know what hit them. Right, Apollo? Yeah, that's right. Come what may, this is one trial. We just can't lose. Go! All right. Apollo! Apollo! Apparently you're a little weaker than you first put on. Blood seeping through his bandages. One of his wounds must have reopened. All this time he was trying to put on a brave face, but he was really overdoing it. Google's how to make bomb. No! Mr. Justice! Huh? A trial's about to start, sir. Please proceed to the courtroom. What? Now? When Apollo's in no state to defend? I have to defend Juniper. What are we gonna do? This trial's about to start, with or without us. There's only one other option I can think of at a time like this. But even if I called him now, he'd never get here in time. Unless he was already coming. No, wait. There's something else I can do. Wait, what else can you do? Apollo, give me all the evidence for the case. Huh? What are you gonna do? Bailiff? Yes, miss? The defense would like to submit a substitution of attorney petition. Thena! You're not seriously... You just concentrate on getting better. I'll defend Junie. Boy, trial by fire, that's for sure. DS Wii game. Science pop-up, what? DS Wii game that tells you how to... Oh, Jesus. Really? And now we have yet another excuse to weave in a tutorial, of course. All by yourself, Athena? Stop for a second and think about what you're saying. You've never once taken a case on alone before, right? No hay probleme. I can handle it, I think. But I guess it's really up to you, Junie. Would you be okay with me taking over? Sure. I believe in you, Thena. And that's enough for me. Ah, you foolish fools. You're worried for me, aren't you? To be honest, I'm pretty nervous too. I think my heart might just burst out of my chest. Same for me, but it's because of my injuries. But you're in no shape to stand at the bench now. So you'll just have to leave it to me. Meh. Alright. I can see your mind's made up anyway. I hate it that I can't be there, but I know you'll give the utmost to defend Juniper. You bet I will. Rest assured of that. You go be anime somewhere else, Apollo. My name is Athena Sykes. Oops. Alright, that's the quick button for that. I'm still just a newbie, but I'm a lawyer. This is only the second time I've taken the lead in the defense case. It'll be the first time I stand up there alone, though. But I have to do this. And I'm definitely not about to let anything bad happen to Junie. Ooh. Loading. Saving. Very seamless. December 17th, 9:46 a.m. District Court. Courtroom. Number 5. Apollo is very anime in this. It's like they needed to meet a quota or something. Just like, you're the anime character. Court is now in session for the trial of Juniper Woods. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is... God, your hair. The prosecution is also ready, Your Honor. And what is the meaning of this? I was under the impression that Mr. Red Monkey would be my opponent today. Yeah, and he was gonna whip your ass into the ground. Wounded or not.
Yes, well, a substitution of attorney petition was submitted just a few moments ago. Due to the explosion in the courthouse yesterday, Mr. Justice is unable to continue.
There's something funny about the super serious all-rise proceeding, a frickin' Ace Attorney case. Yep, so serious, but very, very quickly it's going to become like a monkey crowd, just like a monkey crowd, monkey court.
Kangaroo court.
I see. Not at all surprised he used that as an excuse to run away. With me as an adversary, who wouldn't want to feign illness in order to escape? What? The nerve of that guy! I'm gonna give him a piece of my mind.
Well, I would if I wasn't so nervous.
This arrogant jerk.
You arrogant jerk.
No, Widget!
Damn it, I think I'm gonna have to... Wait a minute, wait. Hold up. I can fix this.
You arrogant jerk!
No, Widget!
Yep, I have that set up today.
Is my hearing getting worse? I could have sworn I heard the defense say something just now. No, you didn't hear anything at all, especially not from me.
How odd. I could have sworn I also heard something.
Oh, that would be my indispensable partner, Widget. He sometimes blurts out what I'm thinking.
Well then, if that's the case, then it's a clear contradiction to what you just stated.
A contradiction?
Yes, this is a tutorial after all. You just stated that you said nothing. However, if that device of yours said what you're thinking, then you indeed said what I was, what was it? Elegance at work?
Yes. Actually, it was arrogant jerk. I love the face.
At any rate, what does it matter if it's a red monkey or a yellow monkey facing me? No fresh out of law school rookie can defend this witness.
Mr. Payne, I believe that's enough. Let us get back to the case.
Of course, Your Honor. I'm more than ready to show this little girl why they call me the Rookie Humiliator.
Are you sure about that?
I knew it.
He really is an arrogant jerk.
Arrogant jerk.
Miss Sykes, if you continue to insult the prosecution, I will remove you from this court.
I'm sorry. Hold on. Let me just burn this thing. I'm very sorry. It was just a knee-jerk reaction.
Now then, Mr. Payne, your opening statement, if you please.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Right. Let's figure out how you expect to pin this on her. Really, what proof is there that she works with weapons?
Now then, The incident occurred yesterday here at this very courthouse, in courtroom number 4. At that time, the trial for a certain bombing was being held in courtroom number 4.
Objection. Prosecution is allowed whips and scalding coffee, and I can't call this asshole a jerk.
Yes, I was presiding over that trial as well.
Thank God the judge is okay.
And Mr. Justice was there as the lawyer for the defense.
A bomb that was being presented as evidence suddenly went off during the trial.
Dang. And then that mess happened.
It was a terrible incident, and courtroom number 4 was completely destroyed. Fortunately, we were able to start evacuation procedures before the explosion occurred. Just a few seconds more, and it would have turned into a horrific loss of human life.
Prosecution can do whatever they want. Defense has rules, though. Yeah. Pain gets so... Everybody... I don't know. So much preference goes to the prosecution in these cases. It's ridiculous.
But there was, in fact, one death, was there not?
Oh, God.
That is correct, Your Honor. When courtroom number 4 was examined after the blast, the body of Detective Candace Arm was discovered.
Candace Arm. Jesus Christ. That's what I've been waiting for.
She was to take the stand as a witness later in the trial.
I suppose she wasn't able to evacuate in time. What a terrible tragedy. I must admit, I stumbled at least 10 times myself before I was able to escape.
The puns are back. Maybe the court should see to getting you even shorter robes.
The victim's body was found near the entrance to the courtroom. I suspect she stayed until the very end to help guide the others out safely. Your Honor, allow me to submit as evidence the victim's autopsy report and details about the bomb.
Cool. It's starting already. Ooh, what the heck? Stuffed animal? I'm gonna have... Actually, I need to read all these things. The time bomb that destroyed the courtroom, it was hidden inside a stuffed animal when it was detonated, and it's got guilty written on it. Neat. It almost looks like a Pokemon. Okay, I know how this works. All evidence for the trial is filed in the court record. When I want to check something out, I just touch the court record button, R, or you can just touch it on the touchscreen. Better take a peek later.
Now then, please call the accused to the witness stand.
Very well. You better have a good explanation.
Defendant, are you feeling all right? You're looking a bit pale.
I'm so sorry. I was feeling a bit weak when I first arrived here at the courthouse.
Excuse me, pollen will clear that up. But I'm all right. Junie's really giving it her all. I better make sure I do the same.
If we could please proceed. Your name and occupation, defendant.
Juniper Woods. I'm a high school student.
Miss Woods, can you confirm you were in the courthouse on the day in question?
Yes, I came to know Apollo Justice through my friend Thena. And so, I was there yesterday to watch his trial and lend my support. Something's wrong. Junie's really scared. Just inhale a flower to make your coughing stop. Logic. Yes. Medication. Maybe it's one of those, like, herbal remedies. Like, you know, she's a naturalist that uses nothing but, like, miracle cures. Certainly looks that way.
Did you know I'm also known as the defendant humiliator?
The only person you humiliated is yourself, sir.
Looks like I have yet another chance to show everyone how I earned that moniker.
Does his arrogance know no bounds? I have to protect Junie no matter what. Hey, you arrogant Prosecutor Payne.
What is it? Do you want me to demonstrate why I'm known as the rookie humiliator instead?
Deep breaths, Athena. Don't let him get to you. Prosecutor Payne, Junie is telling the truth. Mr. Justice also backed up her claim when we saw him in the defendant lobby. And Junie, he said that he was glad to get the lotus root you gave him too. He was? My grandma says lotus root is good for your eyes. She says they can even help you see into the future. They can? Then that's the perfect present for a lawyer. If that's true, I guess he must not have eaten them. Shoot. Take off your sunglasses. We're inside. No, he's too cool for school. Don't you understand?
A sweet, meek girl like this blowing a courtroom to bits. I must say, it's very hard to believe.
No, Your Honor. Don't let her seemingly innocent appearance fool you. The defendant had a motive for committing the crime.
That's not true. I don't have any kind of motive. And I didn't even know the lady who was killed.
I admit, the investigation didn't turn up any connection between the victim and the defendant. However, that doesn't matter. The only thing that does is that her objective was the destruction of courtroom number 4 itself.
Rebel, 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 rebel. Oh, dear God. Actual model, like crowd court, yeah. Hey, what's that supposed to mean? Why in the world would Miss Woods want to do that?
That's a very good question, coming from a novice such as yourself. But first, a question for the defendant. Have you ever been brought up on false charges?
What? Why, yes. Yes, I have. For what? What did you do?
And did the experience cause you to harbor a grudge against the court system?
Now wait just 1 minute. If that kind of thing was a motive for blowing things up, then every one of our clients would turn into bombers.
That's a valid point. We wouldn't have a single courthouse left standing in the land.
I concede the accused isn't the only one who might bear resentment against the court.
Thank God. And for every single one of these cases where I'm trying to push back and the judge is just like,
I don't know, your point is very, very shaky.
Finally, we actually have some pushback.
But Miss Woods is the only person who could have committed the crime. Why? Because we have found some decisive evidence that proves the defendant's guilt.
Decisive, huh? I'll believe it when I see it.
It involves a very unique aspect of the bomb itself, Your Honor.
And what exactly was so unique about it?
Why don't we have Miss Sykes answer that question?
Oh boy. Well, court evidence, let me see. Cause of death, trauma. Okay, that's the autopsy report for the thing. Time of the bomb that was destroyed in the courtroom. It was hidden inside stuffed animal when it was detonated. Is that the only reason why? Are we gonna go and pin it on just like, oh yeah, it was your stuffed animal, wasn't it? Bullshit. Is there anything about profiles in here? Let me see. Another lawyer at the office. Client in this case, we've been friends since childhood. Sweet girl, loves nature. Scumbag. And can disarm. Okay, where are you going with this, buddy?
Me. I noticed that you appear to be very nervous, and, well, gentleman that I am, I'd like to offer you the chance to gain some confidence with such an easy question.
Could he be any more condescending? Really, what a thoroughly unpleasant man.
L is for loser.
Harumph! What did you just say?
Nothing! Not a single thing! Now, let's see. What was I supposed to do at a time like this? Oh, I know! The court record. The information I need is somewhere in the I've already checked the court record.
All right, Miss Sykes, let's hear your answer. What was unique about the bomb that blew up the courtroom? Was it because it was...
In Apollo's briefcase. In the judge's pocket. Inside a stuffed animal. Softballs. Mr. Payne, what kind of simpleton do you take me for? It was stuffed inside a stuffed animal. Its evil intentions covered up by a cute exterior. Oh, is that your defense? You want to see the answer for the pocket? Oh, too bad. I've already I clicked the other thing.
Very good. Have a cookie. The bomb that went off in the courtroom was indeed hidden inside a stuffed animal. There, how do you like that?
Not bad, huh? I am fine. Just like I said from the start, I can do this.
Yes, as I recall, the bomb was stuffed inside a stuffed animal the whole time. I never even got to take a look at it. But what connection does the impish elephant have with the defendant?
The answer to that question lies in another piece of evidence, which I have here.
It's a tail, I think.
And what, pray tell, is this? It appears to be a little singed.
She's celebrating way too early. Yep. Pride before the fall. That being said, Payne is so freaking prideful that he's just gonna fall off a crater. Into a crater, rather.
It's a tail, Your Honor. The tail of a poor victim of the explosion.
This is incredible! Are you saying it's Detective Arm's tail?
Your Honor, you're so very close, but no. It belongs to the stuffed animal. It's called the Phony Fenty. A rather unpleasant name, if you ask me.
He's the mascot for a campaign to eliminate false evidence and false charges, is he not?
Oddly specific.
Exactly. His motto is, phony evidence is just trunked up.
Oh, fuck that. That's so wrong on so many levels.
The Phony Fenty's tail is made of vinyl cloth, and we found something very interesting on its surface. The defendant's fingerprints.
Oh.
What? The Phony Fenty provided the prosecution with all the evidence we needed. It clearly proves that the accused handled the bomb.
But who else handled the bomb? And do we have an explanation for why she would be handling the bomb in the first place? I feel like we do. I'm calling horseshit. But that doesn't make any sense. Why would Junie's fingerprints be on it?
That does appear to be pretty irrefutable evidence. The court accepts it into evidence.
I need to take a look at that. Piece of stuffed animal, bomb insert. Can I take a look at things a little bit closer? Maybe I can, maybe I can't. I'm gonna look. Let me see. Ooh. Well, I can look at the details of that, but I can't look directly at this. Oh well.
Miss Woods, do you have an explanation for this?
I don't understand.
How about you, Miss Sykes? Do you have any plausible explanation to refute this decisive piece of evidence?
Well, I can't do it. I can't think of a single thing. But I better come up with something for Junie's sake. Right. Come on, just come up with some weird, controversial, like... Come up with a conspiracy theory. They usually work out in the end.
If you can't produce an answer, we could always go straight to the ruling if you prefer.
No, I have to say something fast. Just bluff. Say something. You work for Phoenix. Bullshit. Oh no, I can't get my voice to work. Why now of all times? Is that thing on my chest gonna do anything, please? Oh dear. I thought I overcame this already. Maybe I'm still not ready to stand in court. Bullshit your way through it. Do it. You bought quite a little bit of time. Oh boy. What controversy have you been involved in? And who saved you? I didn't know we were playing a horror game today. What a traditional way to go. Okay. Jesus. Good God. An interesting take on cutscenes where it's just like, we're not going to have any kind of actual... Yeah. Oh, there we go.
There is no room for debate.
Objection!
Thank God!
Why, it's you.
Our superhero is here. Ace Attorney 5 and 6 are the first M-rated Ace Attorney games. Yes. Sorry it took me so long to get here, Athena. Apollo explained the whole thing to me over the phone. He asked me to come help you out in his place. Thanks for coming. I hate to admit it, but I was having a real rough time on my own. No, I don't know. I think you were doing just fine, all things considered. And you hung in there, giving me enough time to get here. Now, let's turn things around. You got it, boss.
Look who showed up out of the blue. If it isn't Mr. Phoenix Wright, you always manage to surprise me.
Desk slam. Your Honor, Mr. Payne has called for an early ruling, but I believe there are still many things that need to be deliberated. How did Miss Wood's fingerprints wind up on the stuffed animal tail? How was the bomb even detonated? Until these questions are answered, I assert it's impossible for a fair ruling to be made.
You are absolutely right. I'll just listen to whatever you say. You're the golden boy. Let us continue from where we left off. I assume you have no objections, Mr. Payne.
Probably. What are you going to do about it? If I notice which it changes color depending on it. Oh, yeah. Yeah. That makes sense. Blue when neutral, green when happy, red when angry, black when she was having her... Oh, yeah. Interesting. It's interesting that she's filled with absolutely nothing when she's having a mental breakdown.
Not at all, Your Honor.
I object. Miss Woods really looks like she's having a hard time. Junie's really struggling, Mr. Wright. I get the sense she's afraid of the courtroom itself. Because of yesterday? Yeah, it was understandably very dramatic for her. Poor thing. And here she is, back at the courthouse again, being so brave. I'd like to make a request, Your Honor. If at all possible, I'd like to have Miss Woods rest in the lobby.
Given the defendant's condition. Very well, I grant special permission.
Can't we get an oxygen tank? Come on, man. It'd be black for anybody? I don't know. I feel like it would just be like neon. Like, I imagine it would just be like flashing like multiple freaking colors of like red, green, emotions on high, while Darude Sandstorm plays in the background. You know. You can get some rest, Junie, and leave the rest to us. Okay, thank you. Sorry about this. Goodbye, Flower Maiden.
Phoenix Wright. I've been looking forward to meeting you.
It's been a while, Mr. Payne.
You're more clueless than I'd heard. I do believe you mean, how do you do? For I am Gaspin Payne. I'm the younger brother of your long-standing rival, Winston Payne.
What? Long-standing rival? When were we ever rivals, let alone long-standing?
You'll see, Mr. Wright. I will cleanse Winston of the disgrace he met with at your hands.
Looks like this royal pain is gonna be as thoroughly unpleasant as the others.
Your Honor, the prosecution would now like to call a decisive witness to the stand. The witness will testify as to how the accused detonated the bomb in the courtroom.
I know, gasped in pain. I love the pun names, it's great.
Very well, please call your witness, Mr. Payne.
Oh, hey, asshole. Right. I have a special filter set up for this guy.
Witness, your name and occupation, please.
Witness?
Name, Ted Tonate. Occupation, bomb disposal specialist.
Oh my, what a strange robotic voice you have.
Speech synthesis via typing. It is the same as me talking.
He sounds exactly like a robot.
Yes! Can you speak in a normal manner?
I can.
He can!
But I do not like to speak. Speaking is inefficient. Energy expenditure. Speaking, typing, understand.
What an odd witness.
Not as odd as some of the witnesses we've had in this court.
Mr. Tonate was in charge of the bomb for the trial and was there when it went off.
Being a bomb squad specialist, do you have any relation to the defendant?
Negative. I first met the girl when on this job. Many people are employed by the police, I know only a fraction of them. However, I was shocked when I first discovered the body of the victim.
Shocked.
Wouldn't you be, son of a bitch?
I was the first one on the scene after the explosion. I went there to ensure safety, but I ended up discovering a dead body.
So he was the first to discover the body, was he? Speaking of suboptimal in real-life speed real-life speed run. I see. Interesting. Which is funny because I would usually say, just talk one-on-one. That's why I'm not a gigantic fan of, like, text messages. It's just like, Jesus, freaking call me.
He is here to testify about the circumstances surrounding the moment of the explosion.
Very well. The court will hear Mr. Tonate's testimony. But at the very least, show this court some respect and remove the face guard, witness.
Good freaking Jesus. That's not suspicious at all. When the bomb went off.
The bomb was originally disarmed by me, then transported here as evidence. Bomb name HH3000, operated by timer or with a remote. I was watching from the gallery when I suddenly became alarmed. I saw that the bomb's timer was counting down.
Put your eyeballs back where they were, where they belong. So, even though the bomb was supposed to be disarmed, it somehow got switched on?
Precisely. Activating the timer is very simple. 1. Connect wires. 2. Switch on timer. A monkey could do it. I am sure even you would be able to, Mr. Wright.
I guess this makes you the blue monkey in the barrel of Von Boss. I'd now like to begin my cross-examination. Huh? Oh, Jesus.
Mr. Tonate, what is that?
HH3000, aka A-bomb.
The bomb! Great googly moogly! Yeah! Mr. Tonate, I demand that you disarm it this instant!
Done. Disassembly complete.
5.3 seconds, 0.2 seconds short of my personal best.
Are you trying to give me a heart attack? I'm not exactly a spring chicken, you know.
This is an exact replica of the HH3000. It is used to practice disarming bombs. Disarm equals success. Explosion equals failure.
So, do you just put yourself in danger of blowing up all the freaking time? I feel like that is really inefficient and probably dangerous. He really is a speedrunner. Yeah. Nah, it's a fake bomb. Okay, that would probably make sense.
An exact replica of the bomb that exploded, is it? So that's what it looks like.
I submitted a photograph of the real bomb taken just before the trial. Dimensions: 10-inch height, 10-inch wide, 10-inch dimension. Weight: 12 pounds. A perfect replication.
Your bomb does appear to be a very good copy indeed.
Yes, however, I could not replicate the detonation mechanism. It has a very puzzling wiring setup. It is regrettable I could not replicate it.
Witness, that's enough. There's no need to replicate anything here, especially if it's going to blow up my beard. So. And now if the defense would begin their cross-examination. Where has Miss Sykes gone to?
The little girl's room. She has nearly wet herself. Athena, you can come out now.
Okay, Mr. Wright, let's get to work.
I guess you were pretty scared, huh?
What? I don't know what you're talking about.
Damn it. Hold on a second. Swap over to a different filter.
She was about to bolt.
Hey, put a sock in it, Widget.
As transparent as ever. Now, let's see. Where were we? We were at the cross-examination. Oh, cross-examination, of course. She seems disoriented. I wonder if she's alright. Maybe I should ask Athena if she remembers how to cross-examine to help her focus. Nah, it's fine. I'm good. I can't put the beard in danger. Replica bombs are used often in disarming forces. The bombs are often real bombs, but without the actual explosives. I mean, that makes sense. Nah, no need for that right now. She'll be fine. I'll do everything I can to help. If you can't find any contradictions, and you flub up too often, don't be afraid to ask me for help. Press X to consult with me when the consult panel appears. I'll let you know where I think the suspicious statement is. Sounds good. I'll be counting on you if I get in a bind. Alright, it's cross-examination time. Let's go. BRB? Cool. By the way, this game is much more forgiving when I get game overs. That is what I kind of assumed. Something like Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney would be really frustrating nowadays. You go back to the last cross-examination. Really? Oh. Interesting. Okay, so let me see. I am allowed to save, am I? Yes. Multiple save files as well. There we go. Anyway, the bomb was originally disarmed by me, then transported here as evidence. Oh, really? You say that you disarmed the bomb, but are you really sure it was disarmed?
Absolutely. I can disarm anything. In a flash.
That looks more like dismantle than disarm to me. Oh, pardon me. Let's see. Is there any chance you could have forgotten to disarm the bomb?
Impossible. I do not make rudimentary mistakes like that.
They say to err is human, but this guy is about half robot, so that's about half of a yeah. Yeah, although the jury is still out on this guy. Yeah, previously, if you got a game over, it's back to the start of the trial. Or the recess. Yes. If you must know, Mr. Wright, according to the court's own records, the fact that the bomb had indeed been disarmed was officially confirmed. I guess I can rule out the possibility that he forgot to disarm it. Could you talk about the bomb in a little more detail for the court, Mr. Tonate?
Certainly. Bomb name HH3000, operated by timer or with a remote.
Ted Tonate, I know. Freaking puns, I love it. What was the approximate size and weight of the bomb?
Dimensions, 10 height, 10 width, 10 dimension, weight 12 pounds. This information is also written on the photograph.
Yes, here it is, on the back. According to this, the case is made out of alloy plating 5/16 of an inch thick. That certainly sounds like one thick and very heavy bit of metal.
I bet if I dropped that thing on your foot, you'd be hopping. And maybe losing a foot. If you dropped that thing anywhere, I'd be hopping for the nearest exit.
Very well. I believe the court has heard enough about the bomb itself. So, Mr. Tonate, you were keeping an eye on the bomb. Where were you watching from?
I was watching from the gallery when I suddenly became alarmed.
For what reason, sir? Why were you in the gallery?
My duties may have been over for the moment, but I wanted to keep watch. Even though the bomb was disarmed, you can never be too careful. Explosive devices are very dangerous things.
Mom, how admirably responsible of you. A model to be emulated.
Bullshit.
I practice disarming bombs every day.
Like that, sir. I practice assembling them, too. Because that's sane. The disarming part I get, but assembling them? Well, I'll have you know that I practice presenting evidence every day myself.
I see, but do you ever practice having evidence presented to you?
Presented to me? What? No,
Then you cannot very well call yourself a professional yet, can you?
That does it! I'm gonna start practicing having evidence presented to me every day! How do you do that? And you better drink some coffee, boss. We're gonna be pulling an all-nighter! I don't think that'll be necessary. Or worth either of our time. You love the goofy voice that I'm giving the real Ted. Yeah, pretty much. That's what I assume. Just like I talk through,
Robot box.
But I'm actually doofy in real life.
So, Mr. Tonate, what did you witness from the gallery?
I saw that the bomb's timer was counting down.
Hold it!
Boink. You saw it counting down clearly with your own eyes? I'd hardly think a timer as small as the one on this bomb could be seen from the gallery.
These goggles help me see very small things, clearly from very far away. I could even see what you had for breakfast by looking at your tie.
Why do I suddenly feel like a bug under a magnifying glass? I guess it's possible he saw the timer if he was wearing those goggles. And he probably was. I'm not so sure. There's something that just doesn't sit right with me. I don't think I follow. The bomb was completely hidden inside the stuffed animal. So well concealed, in fact, that it didn't even look like a bomb at all. So you're trying to find testimony that conflicts with the evidence, right? That's right. Listening carefully to Mr. Tonate's testimony is just the first step. After that, it's a matter of taking a look at any evidence that seems relevant. Remember that you can touch present when you want to open the court record. If you find evidence that conflicts with the testimony, press X. I know. Let's see, this testimony is about when the bomb went off. So I think that Jesus Christ, I know what's happening. A bomb that didn't look like a bomb because it was inside a stuffed animal, huh? This is definitely the softball case, that's for sure. Anyways. Watching from the gallery. Saw the bomb's timer when counting down. Did you? I don't think you did.
Objection!
So you say you saw the bomb's countdown. Is that right?
Of course, I clearly saw it counting down to 0.
And I say that you are clearly lying.
What are you talking about?
There is no way you could have seen the bomb's timer. After all, the bomb was concealed inside a stuffed animal. Mr. Tonate, how can you claim to know the bomb was about to go off when you couldn't even see the timer? What? No!
That does seem like a glaring inconsistency indeed. Witness, how do you explain this?
Well,
Oh, that was great, Mr. Wright. You found a contradiction right off the bat. Always remember, Athena, when you find an inconsistency in a witness's testimony, there's always a reason behind it. It could be a lie, a hidden meaning, a secret. Whatever it is, it's up to us to dig it out. And pointing out every contradiction we find is the best way to do it, right, boss? 404 error not found.
error.
Now the question is, what can we dig out of Mr. Tonate? Chips, probably.
Well, let me see. No. There must be some mistake. Oh, yes, of course. I remember now. The sound. I knew because of the sound.
Sound? What sound?
When the timer of this type of bomb is switched on, it beeps softly. Beep, beep, beep. It is the sound of the bomb counting down.
A beeping noise, you say? I suppose it would be possible to notice that even with the bomb inside the stuffed animal.
I simply made a mistake. My bad.
You're practically a computer. You don't make mistakes. Hello, Elsie. How in the world did you hear such a tiny little sound all the way from the gallery?
Listening for the sound of a bomb's timer is an integral part of my work.
Do you also have, like, some kind of weird ear speaker? I don't know, just like some kind of a listening device inside that freaking helmet of yours, eh?
I constantly undergo training so that I will never miss it.
I hardly think training would help you hear something so soft from so far away. What now?
Are you making light of the fine science of disarming bombs? It is a solemn mission that I put my life on the line to perform. What kind of specialist would I be if I could not hear a bomb's timer?
It's not like disassembling a toaster, you know.
Now he's just showing off.
You keep asserting that the sound was too tiny to hear, but the only tiny thing here is your skill as a lawyer. Being suspicious is not an attractive quality, you know.
And you're just overflowing with attractive qualities, are you?
Or perhaps you have some proof Mr. Tony did not hear the sound.
Well, no, but... It still seems totally suspect. But it's going to be really hard to prove that he didn't hear something. We need more testimony.
If I have this correct, the prosecution's argument is that someone reactivated the bomb before it was brought into the courtroom. What I don't understand, Mr. Payne, is why you believe that person to be Miss Woods.
That's simple, Your Honor. Mr. Tonate happened to be there when it happened. He was there when the defendant rearmed the bomb.
What's this now?
It happened before the trial started. It was when Detective Arm and I were transporting the bomb.
Ooh.
We brought the bomb to the lobby for the defense. Bomb equals evidence. The lawyer wanted to see it before the start of the trial.
Looking for a chance to get at the bomb, Miss Woods was already there in the lobby. Her goal was surely to rearm the bomb and steal the remote switch.
So where the hell's the remote switch is what I want to know. The remote switch?
Yes, the switch that controls the bomb remotely. Duh. It has been missing ever since the incident.
A robot saying duh. Testimony equals...
Testimony equal bullshit. I am partially to blame. I left the bomb and remote on top of the transport case. And they were rearmed and stolen while I was talking with a lawyer.
The defendant then used the remote from inside the courtroom to start the timer.
Objection!
How can you assert so unequivocally that the bomb was rearmed in the lobby?
Objection!
Hello, Benji.
The bomb was safely secured in the transport case. The only time it was outside the case was in that lobby. Therefore, it was the one and only opportunity anyone had to meddle with it.
Someone other than Mr. Tonate could have opened the case and taken the bomb out.
Impossible. The transport case is assigned exclusively to me.
Well, then that means that if we find out that, you know, Miss Woods is not the culprit, then there's only one other person that possibly could have touched the bomb. He's already written his will. Benji says, honestly, this case is the only reason this game is rated M. Phoenix says meanies and bullies later in the game. Wow. I see.
Do you see this number here? That is my identification number. And I have the only key that can open the case.
Like I said, he has kind of written his own will, and he's like carved his own gravestone. Now there's plenty screwed up shit in the game. Awesome. Nevertheless, Mr. Payne's assertion is nothing more than conjecture. You have no proof that it was Miss Woods who stole the remote switch.
And by the same token, you have no proof that it wasn't her. But what I do have is a piece of evidence that proves the defendant handled the bomb.
That tail!
5 minutes, 24 seconds, 2.3 deciseconds. The defense's advantage lasted a mere 5 minutes.
Talk about a rotten hand. As long as they have her fingerprints as their trump card, I'm at a big disadvantage.
It appears we will have to hear from the defendant herself once more.
I wholeheartedly agree, Your Honor. I would like to call Miss Woods to the stand.
But she's sickly.
I trust you have no objections, Mr. Wright.
I'm worried about her condition, but we do need her testimony. On the other hand, I'm not sure I want to make Athena mad. I can read your feelings, you know, boss. Guess there's no hiding from her, huh? Don't worry. I know we need her testimony. But if anybody picks on her again, they'll pay. Guess she's already at anger level 1. Don't worry. I'll stop the proceedings before I let anything bad happen to her. Oh boy. Certain thing, final case, is the reason the game got an M. No idea what that is. I don't know, we've already dealt with like a shower of blood and a bloody floor. So that's pretty high up there already. The defense has no objections, Your Honor.
In that case, I will take my leave. But before I do, there is just one more thing, Mr. Wright. Is it?
Me? Yes.
Dismantling bombs is my job. Dismantling the case is yours. Do you think you can handle it? I look forward to seeing you try.
This guy is hiding something. I just know it. I think everybody does.
Now, if you will excuse me.
Goodbye, Shitstain.
Bailiff, please go out to the lobby and bring back the defendant.
Ace Attorney 6 is also pretty gruesome, though a lot of that comes from it being 3D. That is sure. You have less feelings for something that is two-dimensional. Junie! Hi, Athena. She looks even worse off than before. Don't worry, Junie, we're here for you. Thanks, Athena, and I'll do my best too. You blew up the courtroom because you bear resentment against the courts, correct? Fuck off! No, of course not. What's that you say? I can't barely hear you. I haven't done anything wrong. This prosecutor's scary. Oh dear. What an impudent little girl. Stop acting innocent and tell the truth. This is getting ugly. You rearmed the bomb because you wanted to blow up the courthouse. Admit it. I'm sorry, you're badgering the witness, sir. Step the fuck down. That's why you went to the lobby where Mr. Justice was. Is that right? Mr. Wright? Can I go give that prosecutor a smack? What? Of course not. Do we have to review courtroom manners at 101 again? We can't let a creep that bullies innocent girls like this get off so easily. I haven't forgotten about how he treated you. Don't worry about me, just help Junie. Her heart's crying out. She's so scared. So very scared. Looks like Athena's picking something up with her heightened sense of hearing. Oh, Jesus Christ. That's how we're gonna excuse it. Like, Apollo has sight, she has hearing. Spirit of Justice is only T, though. Oh. That's weird. I don't know, I haven't been paying attention to any of the ratings. I've just been like, I'm gonna play you now, because I like the Phoenix Wright games. Don't deny it! You stole the remote switch and used it in the courtroom, didn't you? Your Honor, please put a stop to this. Mr. Payne is badgering the defendant.
Yes, Miss Woods does seem quite frightened. Mr. Payne, I ask that you behave more like a gentleman.
Ah, but don't you know, Your Honor? There is no more a gentleman in this world than I.
Then start acting like it!
As if a gentleman or even a gentleman would behave like he does. Don't let that rude ruffian win. Tina! How dare you call a gentleman such as I a rude ruffian? I'll have you know, I attended the manners class every Saturday. Clearly you're flunking. I'm more than just a mere gentleman. I'm a genteel man. Not when you're terrorizing a young lady, you're not. I demand my money back from that manners class if I were you. I should probably be the adult here and stop the two of them, but but this is some hilarious drama.
Mr. Payne, that will be enough.
Certainly, Your Honor. No further questions. Let's move on to the defendant's testimony. Miss Woods, please share with the court what you were doing when the bomb went off.
Well, now she probably doesn't even want to talk at this stage. Jesus. Well, that day, I was watching from the gallery. The bomb went off, and rubble started falling. It fell on top of me. That's probably asbestos. That probably won't help your lungs. Winston was a lovable dork, but Gaspin is an asshole. Yeah, pretty much. I don't know. I love them both for just being scumbags and, you know, kicking them in the dirt. Also, you can kind of make out the faces in the background. That's ever so slightly creepy. Junie's clearly in pain, being forced to recall the bombing like this. She can't even get her words out. This isn't gonna work, so what now? Hey, wait a minute. Even if she can't vocalize what she wants to say, we can listen to what's inside her heart. Yes, that's a perfect time to use Athena's power. You can hear it, can't you, Athena? The cries of Miss Woods' heart? Yes, and they sound incredibly strained. She's so scared. I think she could collapse at any second. Athena has a unique ability, you see. With her fine-tuned sense of hearing, she can hear the words of a witness's heart. In essence, she can sense how a person is really feeling from the tone of their voice. Guess it's all up to Athena and her special ability now. Again, this is so freaking silly that apparently this is admissible in court. Athena, I want you to use the analytical psychology you studied. And listen to the testimony of Miss Wood's heart. Okay, boss. I'll give it a go. After all, this is the whole reason I put all that effort into studying analytical psychology. Off gets! Let's do this! And go. You don't know about psychology in court, but it seems feasible enough to you. So, your holographic thingamabob can show us how Miss Woods is feeling, right? Yeah, in a nutshell, yes. The emotions and images that I picked up on just now while listening to her testimony, I can enter all of that into Widget and use the mood matrix to analyze them. You're no lawyer. These mood markers here reflect fluctuations in Junie's emotions. When she feels happy or isn't enjoying the memory, the happy marker will light up. When she feels angry or frustrated, the angry marker will react. When she feels sadness or is frightened by a memory, that sad marker will blink. And when she feels surprised or confused, the surprise marker will let us know. Psychology seems fine for courtroom proceedings. More viable than magic spirits. Okay, true. True with that one. So with your special ability and Widget's mood matrix program, we can track how Miss Woods is feeling as she testifies. Talk about the wonders of technology. Boy, I don't even know how to use a computer, let alone use your glove. Yep, now let's give it a shot. Well, that day, cough, I was watching from the gallery. The bomb went off, and rubble started falling. Okay, a lot of surprise. It fell on top of me. Why are you so happy about that? I think I have a good grasp on June's emotion state now. This power of Athena is incredible. I'm seeing an unexpected emotion that's inconsistent with the context of her testimony. What? Already? You're not paying attention to that? Look at this. When she says it fell on top of me, the happy marker is reacting. There must be a reason for this contradictory emotion. We just need to do some digging. When you find an unexpected emotion, touch pinpoint. And then select the unexpected emotion or reaction from the 4 mood markers. Excuse me, ma'am. What are you doing? Widget is registering joy when Miss Woods recalls the rubble falling on her. There must be a reason for this unexpected emotion. Miss Woods, as the rubble was falling, was there also something that made you feel happy? What? Mr. Wright, the feeling of happiness is spreading throughout June's heart. Keep going on this point, and I bet Junie will start to calm down. Great, let's hear what she has to say. Just as I was about to escape the courtroom, the bomb went off. I was so startled, I tripped, and then rubble started falling on top of me. I really thought I was done for. But just then, I started knitting, and everything was fine. Apollo came and rescued me. Apollo? He used his own body to shield me from the rubble. So that's when he sustained those injuries. How do you feel, Junie? Did talking to Apollo give you some courage? Yes, Apollo is just like the sun, strong and bright and warm. Just talking about him makes me feel like a leaf undergoing photosynthesis. Stop fawning over him. I know he's a cute anime boy, but put it together. And see, your coffin stopped all of a sudden. Oh, you're right. Thank you, Athena. Still a little bit noisy. And he's really hot. All I can think is that one, oh god, what scene in SpongeBob was that where Squidward was talking about something like, I don't know, just imagine like so-and-so except without any makeup or something like that. And then he imagined it and he's just like, oh no, he's hot! What episode was that? I'm trying to remember that. Looks like we're able to draw out some new testimony. Pretty neat, huh? Oh, imagine him in his underwear. There we go. But there's still some noise left, meaning there must still be some discord in Junie's heart. I guess we'll have to keep going then. Right, don't panic, Squidward. Just try to imagine him in his underwear. And then he's all ripped. Let me input this new information and update the mood matrix, and we'll be good to go. You remember what to do, right? Nope. When I find an unexpected emotion, I should touch pinpoint. That's right. And then you select the unexpected emotion from the mood markers. If we can find the reason for the discord in her heart, then we should be able to draw even more new testimony. It was in Squilliam Return. Oh my god, dude. That is very specific. And you are right. Tried to run, but too slow. Before I could get away, the bomb went off. I was so startled, I tripped, then rubble started falling on me. I thought I was done for. But then Apollo came and rescued me. Why are you sad? You watched that episode about a month ago. Are they still running that on okay, it was either YouTube or it's on television. I don't even know. You really like the mechanic, especially late game, get all thinking about psychological contradictions. That's actually kind of cool, because really you can only work with like word type of contradictions within this, and it's really nice to be looking at it from another perspective. I mean, how many times can you make word puzzles before you're like, I can't come up with any more words? You were happy when Mr. Justice rescued you, weren't you? Yes, I was really happy. But was there also something you felt sad about at the time? Sad? The reason I ask is, when you were describing how you were rescued, we sensed a little sadness too. Oh, I think it's probably because of Bum Rap Riney. Bum Rap Riney? Well, what do you know? Something new. That's right. I brought my stuffed animal, Bum Rap Riney, to watch the trial with me. Bum Rap Riney and Phone Fanty are brothers. I see. Who knew that the legal world could inspire a whole line of merchandise? Right, because they're not making enough money as it is, apparently. I had Bum Rap Riney with me while I was watching the trial. But it wasn't until Apollo saved me that I realized I lost him as I was running away. My poor Riney, a victim of that terrible bomb. Oh, I know. You can see what he looks like in this poster. Interesting. It's for the campaign to eradicate fake evidence and false charges. Phony, Fenty, and Bum Rap Riney, huh? Nothing against the campaign, but why an elephant and a rhinoceros? Good question. At least it's not like two things on the complete opposite spectrum, like an ant and a condor. Mr. Wright, I don't sense any discord in Junie's heart anymore. So I guess that means we managed to draw out all her testimony. That's right. I'll just make an update with the new info and we'll have a whole picture. So do you think her new testimony will help? Abso-friggin-lutely. Yeah, absolutely. I don't know what I would have done without you, Athena. So, Bum Rap Riney was in that courtroom when the bomb went off. Now that we know that, it changes the meaning of that other piece of evidence. All I have to do is present it at the right statement. Right then. So which specific statement was that? Watching from gallery, with Bum Rap Riney. Tried to run, too slow. Bomb went off. So startled, tripped, rumble started falling. Thought I was done for. Then Apollo came and rescued you. Alright, so the only thing that was talking about Bum Rap Riney was this one. And I'm gonna guess that that's probably what I need to present this on.
Objection!
There we go. This game was the first time you had ever heard of the term bum rap. I heard it previously, it's not something that you normally hear. Miss Woods, I know this trial has been very hard for you, but you can relax now. You are, without a doubt, innocent.
Mr. Wright, what wild assertion are you making now?
My wild assertion is simply this. The two stuffed animals were mixed up. The tail the defendant's fingerprints were found on wasn't that of phony Fanty. It was the tail of her gallery companion, Bum Rap Riney.
What nonsense is that? I can see they're both stuffed animals, yes, but they're completely different characters. An elephant and a rhino. That's as distinct as a defense lawyer and a prosecutor.
But are they really so different? Both defense lawyers and prosecutors strive to protect the peace through law. Even elephants and rhinos have some similar characteristics. They're both gray, for example. Anyway, this poster is all I need to prove my assertion to be true. If I may direct the court's attention here, you'll clearly see how the two got mixed up. You.
Well, would you look at that? The two tails are exactly the same.
Yes, there was a shortage in the factory, and they needed to cut corners. The two stuffed animals are based on entirely different animals. But the design of their tails is exactly the same. God! Ooh, better comb that back over, buddy.
Order in the court! As long as the possibility exists that the tail belongs to Bum Rap Riney, we can no longer consider it to be decisive proof that the defendant handled the bomb. As things stand, I consider the changes against the accused unsubstantiated. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Payton?
Oh, yes, of course, Your Honor.
Oh, that was great, Mr. Wright. You turned things right around. Yeah, it's not over yet, but at least we managed to hold out this long.
I believe that brings our proceedings for today to a close. Mr. Payne, I'm afraid you have some serious investigation ahead of you.
Yes, Your Honor.
Very well. Let us reconvene tomorrow. Court is adjourned.
Is anyone going to interrupt? Oh, maybe not. Okay, cool. You love how Riney is meant to be Phoenix. Oh, yeah, I didn't even notice that on the poster. Is it in my court record? Not really. Nope. Okay. December 17th, 11:56 a.m., District Court, Defendant Lobby, number 5. That was so exciting, boss! We did it! True to form, you managed to just barely pull it off at the very last moment. True to form? Gee, I never knew you had such a glowing opinion of me. Thank you for everything you're doing. You did great, Miss Woods. You really stuck it out. And you got really brave at the end, just when we needed you the most, Junie. Thanks to you, we were able to turn things around. Well, you were the one who gave me that courage, Thena. Really? Thanks. So, be honest, was I any help at all? Yeah, you have the psycho mumbo jumbo computerized things. Of course, without you, we would never gotten out of that tight spot. That's good to hear. I may still have a lot to learn, but you can bet I'm gonna give it my all. I'll be so good that one day you'll call me your partner. That's what I like to hear. Analytical psychology. The ability to solve the riddles of a person's heart. Athena's true potential is beginning to really shine through now. Hey, where's Apollo anyways? Oh, he's dead. Good question. I almost forgot about him. I assume he's still been here in the lobby. Oh, I know. Maybe he's still in courtroom number 4. Wait, for real? No, he's not dead. Don't worry about that. Oh, wait. Daigakuten Saibon's fan translation is almost done. Oh, really? Daigakuten Saibon. I'm trying to remember, is that the... Oh, was that like one 3DS game that went out in Japan and it's not being translated to English? Or is it currently being... The one set in ancient Japan. Okay, the Sherlock... Ah! Yeah. Is that an official translation, though? Or is that the fan translation because, like, they're not going to port this one over either? I have no idea. Courtroom number 4? What would he be doing at the scene of the explosion? Crying, probably. No, fan translation. Shoot. It's not getting ported. Well, at least people will be able to play it here, I guess. When I came out to the lobby to rest, I told Apollo about bum rap Riney. I told him I dropped Riney in the courtroom as I was trying to escape before the blast. And then Apollo said he had an idea where Riney might be, so we went to take a look together. Oh dear, is that going to become a piece of evidence? I guess Apollo can be pretty nice when he wants to be. What? When's he not nice? So you went looking for Riney together before you were called back to courtroom number 5? Yes, I'd had some time to rest, so I was able to go and look for him. But then they called me into courtroom number 5 to testify. Apollo insisted on staying there, though. With all those injuries? I wonder how he's managing. Let's see. Different team doing the translation. Here's hoping the translation is as good as that one. I hope so, too, because, yeah, the people over... Like, the gigantic community over at GBA Temp that got together and did the translations for Ace Attorney Investigations, Prosecutor's Path, they did a very good job. I think Apollo might have figured something out. Wonder what it was. He told me, I'm going to look for evidence to clear your name, Juniper. Just maybe he found some new piece of evidence? Anyway, where to go and get him? Good idea. Quick reminder about the DLC. It takes place between episodes 2 and 3. Okay, I might want to note that and do that DLC, canonically. December 17th, 12:11 p.m., District Court, Courtroom number 4. What are we going to find?
Where are you, Apollo? Trial's over for today. Come on, I know.
Again, I really hope he isn't falling over.
No.
Yep. Ugh, God damn it. Who is trying to kill our boy? To be continued. Bullshit. I'll save. I wonder how long the next chapter is. I could probably do that one too, if it's not too long. I assume we're just going to be jumping directly into day 2. Here. Saves. And now return. Wait a minute. Okay, now press back, and now we move forward. December 18th, 9:34 a.m., District Court, Defendant Lobby number 5. No investigation in case 1. Good. I like the investigation portions, but boy, it could take a while, especially if your brain just sort of rots and you're sitting there thinking, where do I go next? This isn't exactly how I envisioned the second day of this trial to start. But, given how things ended yesterday... Good morning. Very awkward. The mood sure is tense. Not that that's any surprise. Ace Attorney 5 and 6 are infinitely better at communicating what you're supposed to do. Thank God! Oh, hey! Did you read the paper this morning, boss? Huh? The paper? That came out of left field. You didn't read it? Then you don't know the big news? Somebody spotted the abominable snowman way up in the mountains. Tell me you know the difference between a paper and a tabloid, Athena. It might show up in the forest where you live, Junie. So you'd better watch out, okay? I mean, at least this is an icebreaker. Oh, sort of. Now everybody's awkward now. You really should read the story for yourself. I couldn't even begin to do it justice. Justice! Oh, god damn it. Oh, poor Apollo! And it's all my fault. No, it's not. Shut up. Athena! Oh, Judy! Oh, what was I thinking? I'm so sorry! Right, how do we explain this? What we found yesterday was not Apollo's dead body, thank goodness. He's been assaulted by someone with a blow to his head and was lying unconscious. We rushed him to the hospital right away, and it looks like he's going to pull through. But it was still quite a shock to stumble on a scene like that. I'm appalled. Oh, God damn it. Is Miss Woods all right, Athena? Well, I managed to get her to stop crying. Now she's resting on that sofa over there. I guess she really feels responsible for what happened to Apollo. Poor Junie. She believes that the reason Apollo was attacked is because he was helping her look for something in that courtroom. Oh? I guess I can see why she'd think that. By the way, did he find any evidence that would really be helpful in my case? By the way, how are you doing? Who, me? Yeah, I know you're concerned about Miss Woods, but are you alright? Me? I'm doing just fine, boss. I mean, yeah, it was a huge shock, but I'm alright. People who've studied analytical psychology are great at times like these. After all, they've learned how to control their own emotions too. Did they? You seem to break down in court, and also, were you the one that screamed when we found Apollo's body? I feel like you have not, you're not exactly Vulcan calm. Somehow I don't think it's as easy as she makes it sound. But there's no denying she's a real trooper. Apollo doesn't remember a thing, does he? Yeah, he can't recall anything from the time right before he was assaulted. Nothing about what he was doing in courtroom number 4 or who assaulted him. The doctor said it's probably due to that hit he took to the head. How convenient to the plot. Assaulted in a court of law and losing your memory at that. I know how that feels. But who in the world would do such a thing? Huh, Mr. Wright? Just wait till I get my hands on the coward who hurt our Apollo. No, Athena. I thought you said you were in control of your emotions. Let's just focus on helping Mr. Woods, okay? But I admit I'm just as upset as you. I don't know. It looks like your technological mood ring is about to kill someone. Okay, boss. You're right. Apollo's assailant can wait until after we clear Junie's name. That's the spirit. Now, let's see. I better check the court record one more time before the trial. Why? Was there something that was recently added to the trial or, added to the record in some capacity? It doesn't look like it. Hey, what are you going on about? If memory serves, when I have more than 6 pieces of evidence, I should be able to switch Earth to Mr. Wright! I'm ready when you are. Stop with the tutorial shit. Alright, let's get this ready. Get ready to rumble. You bet. With everything that happened with Apollo, I didn't have time for a proper investigation. I can't let that stop me, though. I have to get this right, for Miss Wood's sake, and Apollo's too. Usually things work out. They usually bring the evidence that will inevitably take them down. Hey, December 18th. What day is it today? Oh, it's the 15th. Okay, so in 3 days. December 18th, 9:50 a.m. District Court, courtroom number 5. Day 2. All rise. In 3 days and 8 years. Court will now reconvene for the trial of Juniper Woods.
The prosecution is ready, Your Honor.
The defense is also ready, Your Honor.
Now then, I believe I instructed the prosecution to further their investigation. Were you able to locate the remote switch in question?
I'm afraid the remote switch is still missing, Your Honor.
I must say I'm disappointed, Mr. Payne. Not angry, just disappointed.
Does that follow through, Athena?
I apologize, Your Honor.
Aha! Looks like the prosecution is just as unprepared as I am.
There is a separate matter, however, that I would like to bring up during this trial.
A separate matter, you say? And what might that be?
I assume you're aware that another incident occurred during yesterday. Yeah.
Sorry, 9 years. It's a long freaking time.
I'm speaking, of course, of the assault on Mr. Justice in the ruins of courtroom number 4.
Uh-oh, why is he bringing that up?
Yes, what a truly harrowing experience it must have been. Poor Mr. Justice.
At the time of the attack, Mr. Justice was not alone. He was with the defendant, Miss Juniper Woods.
Why are you pinning shit on her? I don't get this. He isn't going where I think he's going with this, is he?
The prosecution wishes to indict Miss Woods on the charge of Mr. Justice's assault.
That's about the proper reaction. I am with the crowd.
Order in the court! Mr. Payne, the incident under deliberation here is the courtroom bombing. The assault on Mr. Justice has nothing to do with this trial.
But I believe there is a connection between the case and Mr. Justice's assault. Please take a moment to consider these facts. Both events occurred in courtroom number 4. This is the location in courtroom number 4 where the unconscious Mr. Justice was discovered. As you can see, it's quite close to where Detective Arm's body was
Not really. That's like all the way across the room. I feel like this is real. Coincidence? Coincidence as shit.
The question is, why did the culprit feel the need to maliciously attack Mr. Justice?
Why, indeed. What do you believe their motive to be, Mr. Payne?
I believe Mr. Justice found something in that courtroom while Miss Woods was with him. Evidence that figured her as the perpetrator of the bombing.
You mean he found some incriminating evidence?
Really? Do you have that evidence on you?
Precisely. And so I surmise that the defendant picked up a piece of rubble and hit Mr. Justice on the back of the head in order to silence him.
Objection!
Jody would never do such a thing. She was devastated when we found Apollo. I'm like, yeah. But acting is a hell of a thing.
Miss Sykes, please control your outbursts.
It is the prosecution's belief that by deliberating on Mr. Justice's assault, we will draw even closer to the truth of the courtroom bombing itself.
So by that logic, I could just say, oh, hey, you know what also is connected with this? The donut that I had in the lunchroom because it's taking place in the exact same building. Yep, we should investigate that and why that happened.
Very well. Miss Woods is hereby officially indicted on the charges of assaulting Mr.
Sure. What? Why are you listening to Mr. Toupee over there? Although, considering our conversation yesterday, I think Apollo might have figured something out. Wonder what it was. He told me, I'm going to look for evidence to clear your name, Juniper. Maybe the two incidents really are related after all.
I would like to start by hearing from the defendant herself.
And hopefully she won't be scared out of her wits.
Very well. Bailiff, please bring Miss Woods to the witness stand.
Eek. I'm sorry. I can't seem to stop coughing. Miss Woods. Guess she's still really upset about Apollo.
Miss Woods, you went to the ruins of courtroom number 4 with Mr. Justice, did you not?
Yes, I did.
Good, good. If you would then, please testify about what happened to the court.
All right, hopefully there won't be too much emotional blockage here. During the trial yesterday, I was overcome by a fit of coughing. Apollo stayed with me and we went to the courtroom ruins together. But then I was called back to this courtroom to give testimony. Apollo insisted on staying behind in courtroom number 4. I swear I didn't attack Apollo. Why would I ever hurt such a kind person?
Revenge! No. So Mr. Justice stayed by your side while you were feeling unwell. What an admirable young man. I thought his loud voice was his only outstanding feature. What amazing pipes!
He may look like a little imp at times, but Apollo can be really nice too. I hope she didn't hurt her wrist backhanding that one out.
But one has to wonder, why did Mr. Justice stay behind in the ruins?
I think Apollo might have figured something out.
Something? What kind of something?
Something to do with the courtroom bombing, kind of something, I think. I wouldn't know. I swear I don't know.
Oh, new evidence for the case, was it? That's a very big kind of something indeed.
I wonder how many of these court cases are being, like, documented. Just for the weird controversies and how off the wall they eventually get.
I believe so. He mentioned looking for some evidence when I was called away. Just as I thought. There is a connection between the two incidents. But the defendant has told a very big lie, Your Honor.
Every case is documented. I mean, specifically, there's like a section of the cases that's documented to the side. Just like, this is all the stuff involved with Wright & Co. agency and law office. This insanity needs to be put in like a memory book. That kind of shit.
But the defendant has told a very big lie, Your Honor.
What lie is that?
When she learned Mr. Justice would be looking for evidence, she attacked him. She attacked him to give herself the chance to destroy that evidence. No, I never... Objection. Miss Woods repaid Mr. Justice's kindness with violence. We found the proof of her foul deed there in the courtroom.
Is that freaking writing on the floor for... Oh, God damn it. I call shenanigans. This happens way too often. What on earth?
Do you see it there in front of Mr. Justice's right hand? Witness the message he left us.
It's written in blood. What? I can't read. Why isn't that?
That's right, Your Honor. It says Woods in capital letters. What? I submit that Mr. Justice left us with the name of his attacker before he fainted.
No. How many times in the series has that happened, and how many times was that actually real?
No, that can't be true. Why would Apollo write my name?
Mr. Wright, the nerve of him leaving that message. Why would he do this? Hey, don't take it out on me. I don't understand it any more than you do. When we discovered Apollo yesterday... Apollo! No. And yeah, Athena was the one that screamed. Okay. We didn't even have a chance to rush over to him. As soon as security heard Athena's scream, they ran in and cordoned off the area. After that, they were there in courtroom number 4 with Apollo the whole time. We couldn't investigate anything ourselves and had to leave everything to the police. Still, I never thought they would find some bloody writing there. How did you not see it?
Now then, please begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright.
Right. I wonder if I will get to work with some, emotion stuff. Anyway, during the trial yesterday, I was overcome by a fit of coughing. Yep. Do you always cough when you get nervous, Miss Woods?
Yes.
Mr. Wright, please do not make Miss Woods nervous by pressing her so ruthlessly.
It's all I know, Your Honor. But that's barely even qualify. Wait, that barely even qualifies as a quasi-question. Let's help her relax with a little small talk before we dive in cross-examination. You know, ask her about her hobbies and her crushes and stuff. That's probably going to make it worse. Her crushes? Really? I don't know about this. Apollo stayed with me and we went to courtroom ruins together. I guess that's about crushes, so cool. Why exactly did you go to the courtroom ruins? We went to look for my medicine to stop my coughing. A likely story. Your medicine? Why would your medicine be in courtroom number 4? Because there was a gigantic accident. I'm sure there's a lot of things in courtroom number 4. Like, actually, I do wonder how many people's wallets are probably in there. I dropped it in the heat of the moment. Bum rap Riney. He was keeping my medicine safe for me. He has a little compartment that I can put things in, you see. Oh. Interesting. And Phony Fanty has the same type of pocket. That's where the bomb was inserted. I had put my medicine for my coughing fits inside Bum Rap Riney. When I told Apollo about it, he said he'd help me go look for him. There was so much rubble in there. I was worried, but there was no rubble or anything in front of the witness stand. So when we got inside, Apollo went straight there and started looking for my Riney in that area. It was so nice of him to do that for me, in spite of all his injuries. Apollo is so strong and kind, just like the trees of the forest. Stop swooning! The way she makes him sound, you'd think Apollo was some kind of ancient god. Oh, wait.
So that's why you went to the ruins, I see. That seems to be quite an important fact. Please add it to your testimony, Miss Woods.
Apollo started looking for a bum rap Riney near the witness stand, where there was no rubble.
Hold it!
The area around the witness stand? Are you sure about that? I'm sorry! Did I say something wrong? No, of course not. I was just testing my hearing. Must not upset her. Must not upset her. Yes, I'm sure that's where we searched first. Okay, that might have something to do with it then. But then I was called back to this courtroom to give testimony.
Hold it!
That was when you were called to the stand after Miss Tonate's testimony, right? Yes. The bailiff came to courtroom number 4 and brought me back to this courtroom. And what about Mr. Justice? Did he come with you or did he stay behind? Apollo insisted on staying behind in courtroom number 4.
Hold it!
I better not ask her about Apollo. Shit. I know. I'll use some small talk here to get her to relax a bit. Do you have any hobbies, Miss Woods? Hobbies? Oh, well, I love growing vegetables in my garden. And I love to knit. I like sewing, too. I made this outfit myself. Keep it up, Mr. Wright. It's working. Now ask her if she has a crush on anyone. So, is there anyone in particular you like right now? I swear I'm not hitting on her. Mr. Wright, is that question even remotely related to this case? To this case? Not really.
Mr. Wright, you will refrain from asking questions unrelated to the case at hand.
Sorry, Your Honor. -1 to brownie points. Miss Woods, please continue with your testimony. I believe you were telling the court about your attack on Mr. Justice. I swear I didn't attack Apollo. Why would I even hurt such a kind person? So you think Mr. Justice is kind? Yes, very kind. He rescued me. He's like the sun, strong and warm. He makes me feel strong, too. The only adjectives I associate with the sun are sweltering and oppressive. It kind of does feel like Apollo in a nutshell, actually. But then Apollo got hurt, and don't worry about it. It's all my fault! Judy, Apollo's gonna be fine. He's just like the sun, right? Well, the sun doesn't just drop out of the sky. You really think he'll be fine? But the sun does go down at night. Then that means Apollo could... Oh, God damn it.
Mr. Payne, I do not think much of men who make young ladies cry.
Go! So Apollo was trying to help Juniper. Who knew that Apollo could be such a sweetheart? It must have been pretty hard on him, too, with all that rubble everywhere. Now that I think about it, there's something odd about what Apollo was able to do. You know, considering what Miss Woods said just now, I think you're right. That courtroom was in a very unusual state, after all. Which leaves the million-dollar question. What would explain this contradiction? Anyway, let's see what happens when I present what I suspect is our answer. Alright. During the trial yesterday, you were overcome by a fit of coughing. Apollo stayed with you, went to courtroom rooms together. Apollo started looking for bum rap Riney near the witness stand, where there was no rubble. Well, I mean, it kind of this is the thing in question that was kind of unlocked at that point. I mean, there was no rubble, so that would kind of explain how he was able to do anything with it. But just in case, I'm just gonna go ahead and save. So hold up, there must have been rubble if they're talking about contradictions. Oh yeah, here we go. So, courtroom number 4 diagram of the courtroom. Let me take a look at the details. Where would the witness stand be? Okay. It kind of looks like there was a lot of rubble over there. So I kind of want to say that, like, you know, bullshit, there was rubble. How was he able to lift all that? Objection! So he started his search with the witness stand, you say? That's right. I guess maybe he wanted to start from the furthest point in the room. He was being so brave. And strong. But that's odd. Under the circumstances, he shouldn't have been able to, been capable of that. But he was, and he still is. He might not look it, but he really is brave. And kind, too. No, that's not the part I'm finding fault with. Someone has a crush on Apollo. What you are claiming is something that no one should have been able to do.
But I should think that anyone can be brave and kind if they wanted to be, Mr. Wright. God, everybody, get the corn out of your ears and listen.
True, anyone can be brave and kind, but if we would please take a look at this diagram. With the courtroom in this state, how was it possible to walk up to the witness stand? I see.
I see your point. The rubble blocks off access to the area around the witness stand.
Does such a tiny inconsistency even matter? Perhaps the witness is simply misremembering it?
Great. Now, I'm not so sure it matters.
A real man doesn't make mountains out of molehills, you know.
But that's all I'm capable of doing. That's literally my job in a nutshell. I make the largest mountains out of very tiny molehills, and hopefully those mountains will show me the truth.
Well, that's precisely what Mr. Wright...
Oh. Thank you, Judge.
I call slander, Your Honor. So, was it really impossible to approach the witness stand? I have to say, it's a bit hard to tell with any accuracy from just this diagram. Mr. Payne, do you have any other photos of the crime scene?
Let me see, Your Honor. Yes, I have one more. Here it is. It's a more pulled-back version of the photo I presented before.
Well, there's the bomb crate. That's interesting. Huh? What's that hunk of metal on wheels? Mr. Payne, is the metallic object in that photo Mr. Tonate's bomb transport case?
That's right. Is there some problem?
Yes, that transport case was there in courtroom number 4 when the bomb went off. He must have been there ever since.
Oh, that's it!
Miss Woods, have you remembered something?
Yes, I just realized.
Its position. It's different from before. Its position? The position of what? The position of that big metal thing. The bomb transport case? Yes, when Apollo and I went there, it was in a different place. Where the case is in the photo was open space, so it was easy to search the stand. I see. So where was the transport case when you and Mr. Justice saw it? As I recall, I think it was more to the right. To the right? Then that means... In that case, the case was over there at the time of Apollo's attack. Huh.
Who cares where the transport case was when? What difference does it make? It has nothing at all to do with what we were talking about.
Objection!
Thank you, Phoenix. Where the transport case was has everything to do with this discussion. In fact, it's so important that it's enough to turn this prosecution's argument on its ear.
What?
Well, that certainly sounds very relevant indeed. And you sound as though you know where the case was at the time of the attack.
Yes, Your Honor. The diagram represents the crime scene as shown in this photo. And this is where the transport case was at the time of the assault on Mr. Justice. Alright, I have this. The bomb transport case was here at the time of Apollo's attack. My god, if what they're saying is right, then that means this case would have been sitting on top of where the writing would be. Your Honor, I assert that this is where the transport case was at the time of the assault.
But that's...
Inconceivable! Miss Woods, was this where the transport case was when you saw it? Yes, that's where it was. How convenient for us. Thank you, Miss Woods. I'm sure the court has noted an interesting fact about this position.
The transport case covers up the writing in blood.
Exactly. If the transport case was in that position at the time of the assault, then no message could have been written there because this case was in the way. Which leads us to conclude that Mr. Justice couldn't have left that bloody writing. Why should we believe the defendant's claim that the case was in a different position? She's obviously lying! The fact that the case was moved after the assault on Mr. Justice is proved by more than Miss Woods' testimony alone. What? What is this proof you're talking about? It's right here in the crime photo.
I'm keen to see this proof myself, Mr. Wright. What in this photo indicates that the transport case was moved after the assault?
Well, taking a quick look at it right now. Moved at... Oh, right, the tire marks. I see exactly what's going on here. I wonder what kind of friggin' hitbox is this? All the proof you need, Your Honor, is right here.
I'm afraid I don't follow.
Mr. Wright, I'm sensing feelings of doubt from you. Which means you're just taking a wild stab in the dark, aren't you? No, you're good. I bet you could also tell how I'm about to feel in a few seconds, too.
You just earn yourself a penalty.
Crapola. If the transport case was moved after the assault, there should be some evidence of it. I better take another good look at the photo. Alright, I'm not entirely... Elsie just left a hint in this thing. Oh. Shite. Okay, I had the right idea, but... the proof is in that there is tire marks over the bandage. Whoops. Thank you. Please take a look at the mark that runs over Mr. Justice's bandage here.
I see it. But what is it?
This mark was made by one of the casters from the transport case carrying the bombs. As the case was moved, it ran over his bandages. In other words, the transport case was originally to the right of Mr. Justice. Then, after Mr. Justice was assaulted, the transport case was moved. What? Just as Miss Woods said, the case was covering the writing at the time of the assault. Therefore, it was impossible for Mr. Justice to have left that message in blood. No! You are a pain. Pain in the ace. You did it, boss! It was a real nail-biter, but you pulled it off. Yep, that should bring down the prosecution's claim like a house of cards. No, it never does.
Order in the court. Mr. Wright, that was a very clever deduction.
It was nothing, Your Honor. Nothing but pure genius. Take that. Boss, I'm sensing a definite smug and braggy vibe coming off of you.
I have just one question, Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor.
If Mr. Justice didn't leave this message in blood, then who did?
Huh? What? Oh. Well, yeah. Looks like I should have taken that train of thought through the last station.
Well, well, I've heard a lot about this. So this is Mr. Wright's famous bluffing technique, is it?
Ah, this feeling. It brings back memories of the old days. Back when you carved out a name for yourself by bluffing your way through thick and thin.
Gee, Mr. Wright, the judge kind of makes you sound no better than a 2-bit con man.
Awkward.
You made your argument with such confidence, Mr. Wright. Now I'd like to hear your answer with just as much confidence.
Hey, until the judge asked the question, you didn't catch on either, Buster. What now, boss?
I hope you didn't bluff your way into a corner.
Think, Phoenix, think. There must be a way through this. I have to dig my way to the truth somehow. Who could have written that message in blood?
The culprit. Apollo. Someone else. I mean, if I had to take a guess, I would say it would probably be the culprit. But we don't know who the culprit is. Someone else is kind of a vague answer, so I don't know. I'm just going to say the culprit and see if it's not, it can't be Apollo. If it were Apollo, we're in trouble. I'm going to say the culprit. If Apollo didn't leave that bloody writing, maybe it was Apollo's attacker who wrote it and made it look like Apollo did it. That seems like the most reasonable explanation. But wait a minute, I just realized something, boss. What is it? Look at the amount of blood in the photo. It doesn't look like Apollo bled very much. I wonder if it's even possible to write out words with just this much. We do, though. Well, we do, but not Phoenix. Oh, okay. Hey, you're right. Good thing Apollo didn't lose that much blood. That might be a factor in why he survived the assault. And since there was so little blood, that pretty much rules out his attacker, huh? I guess so, but if it wasn't his attacker, then who else could it have been? Who could have written that? Son of a bitch. Okay, good thing I didn't get any kind of penalty for that. All right. Someone else, I guess. If it wasn't Apollo, who could have left the bloody... Okay. Well, I have to take the guess. I mean, I have no basis on this whatsoever, but I definitely want to see this guy in handcuffs.
This person left the bloody writing? And what do you base this claim on?
Do I really need to base my claims on something?
Boss? Of course you do! Don't tell me you don't have anything at all to back up your assertion.
No! Totally not. Nothing in particular, really.
That won't do, Mr. Wright, but a penalty will make up for your deficiency very nicely.
Shit. Hey, I'm actually failing these. My brain isn't quite working properly. I feel like this is a Phoenix Wright game proper. So it wasn't Apollo or his attacker when you think about who it was at the crime scene. There's only one other person who could really be. Oh yeah, wasn't there another person who shed blood at the crime scene? If it wasn't Apollo, who could... Okay. Who... Wait. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh my God. You know, there's something that I have really been missing when it comes to the Phoenix Wright games, and any of the Ace Attorney games in general. I have not had a good old-fashioned, oh my God, holy shit, controversy! Like, you know, an M. Night Shyamalan twist. And this is it. To be honest, I don't actually have any real proof of this. But I've come this far. There's no turning back now. Besides Apollo, there was one more person who shed blood at the crime scene.
A person who shed blood? You don't mean...
Oh, but I do. I believe it was Candace Arm who left behind this message in blood.
What?
How's it going, Power? What? Detective Arm? Are you sure you know what you're doing here? Not really.
What kind of ridiculous assertion is that? If you had said the attacker left the message to throw people off, it might have made sense.
At first glance, that would seem to be the most reasonable explanation. However, Apollo didn't shed enough blood to write such an extensive message.
Oh,
I see. Even the photo makes it clear there wasn't enough blood to write all those letters. And Mr. Justice did survive. I suppose he did bleed very extensively in that case.
but why would Detective Arm write the defendant's name? There's no connection between the two whatsoever. And I didn't even know who the lady... the lady who was killed.
No.
I admit the investigation didn't turn up any connection between the victim and defendant. They had never even met each other.
That's very true. Well then, let's see. Then maybe the intended meaning of the message is not what it appears to be.
The intended meaning?
Not what it appears to be. Maybe the message was not intended to be Woods. Stoom. I don't think that works.
Coming from you, that's quite the bold statement, Mr. Wright. You wish to assert that this bloody writing could have some other meaning?
Yes, Your Honor. For something I pulled out of a wormhole, it could turn out to be true, right?
It clearly says Woods, as anyone can plainly see.
Either that, or it's like moods, except written entirely incorrectly.
What other meaning could it possibly have?
But Candace Arm was a detective. Maybe Woods only means something to the police. Like a police scanner code, for example.
I didn't think of that.
You may have tricked His Honor, but you'll never get the best of me. I have a thing for studying on the weekends, as you may have already guessed. And there's no such radio code as Woods in this state, dear Mr. Wright.
Is that a fact?
Don't look at me. I know as much as you do about police codes.
Enough of this! I was quite taken with the defense's new theory. But if they can't substantiate it with anything, then I must end things here.
No, please, wait, Your Honor.
Very well, before we discuss this theory any further, I demand a plausible explanation.
Before I give you that, I'm gonna save in the other slot, just because I've failed many, many times.
So, Mr. Wright, what is the true meaning of the bloody writing?
Well, I believe it's...
And no stalling! If you can't come up with an answer quickly, I will declare this decision officially over.
Discussion. I'm in trouble now. What other meaning could it have besides the obvious one? Maybe it means something in another language? Borginian? Or maybe it's a code? Think, Phoenix! You can do this! If only I had a big boobed woman here that could potentially help me with that. Damn it. Which piece of evidence will tell us what the word Woods means? Cause of death, trauma, back of head, caused by impact with a flat object. Time of death between 8 and 11. Hidden inside stuffed animal and can be detonated remotely. Nothing about that. Well, okay. Are there any other details aside from that? Let me see. Nothing about the time code. I don't think so. Elephant and Rhino are completely off the track when it comes to the word Woods. Switch that starts the time bombs countdown. It was stolen just before the blast and is now missing. Oh, wait a minute. No. That code doesn't really mean anything either, I don't think. The assault photos. Let's think about this. Again, all I can think is that it says moods, except it's like mirrored. But why the hell would anybody think about... Oh, wait a minute. Hold the phone. I see something peeking out the corner of this here. Yeah, there's a piece of rubble. Eh? What piece of evidence will tell us what the word woods really means? Hey! Dude! This will! Or am I thinking too forward?
What exactly is your point, Mr. Wright? I thought this evidence was supposed to tell me what woods really means.
But doesn't it, Your Honor?
Are you asking me or telling me?
I guess I'll let you be the judge of that.
Yes, I'll do the judging around here, and I judge that you deserve a penalty.
That didn't go over well. But I just know there's something here that looks like the word woods. Shite. Now then, let's try it again, shall we? All right, okay, all right. We're trying to look for something that looks specifically like the word woods. But, yeah, I did notice that, again, it appears that there's a piece of rubble that may have been pulled out of the floor at some point. And it does look like this is some other word. So, it's not limited to 5 characters, that's for sure. Okay, is the bomb transport case, like, at all? Does it look at all like the word woods? Oh. Actually, maybe. Because if you look at it, could you misconstrue, like, the L1? Dear, boy. That is a freaking stretch. Yeah. Oh, and now Elsie is giving me a hint. 5 equals S. I think this might be it, actually.
Take that!
The bomb transport case? I've about had it up to here with your shenanigans, Mr. Wright.
Take a look at the numbers on this case, Your Honor. L10015R. Doesn't the string look vaguely familiar?
L100... I told you before I can't read. What does that have to do with anything?
What could those numbers possibly have to do with the case at hand? Now, please take a look at the bloody writing showed in the crime photo. Oh, I think I see it. Atta girl. That's one on my side.
It says wood, sir.
Or you could say it's a horse of a different color, Your Honor. The first character isn't a W. It's actually an L and a 1. The next 2 are zeros.
Oh my goodness.
The true meaning behind the bloody writing isn't Miss Woods' name. It's the number engraved on this bomb transport case! What are you talking about? The next part doesn't make any sense! The next number is a 1, but the bloody writing says D! But the number on the case and the bloody writing can be made to match up quite easily. This is how the number on the transport case can be made to match the bloody writing. Erase 1 line. Erase 2 lines. Read it back. I don't think it's reading it backwards. Let's see. How many lines would we be erasing at this stage? I need to check this real quick. I think it would be just getting rid of 1 line. Could be a little inept at this. I don't know. I don't have a lot of health left. I'm just going to choose something. All you have to do is erase 1 line from the writing.
Erase 1 line from where?
Anywhere you like.
Anywhere all right, I'll erase one of the O's and wads. And what's that supposed to mean?
Your state of mind. I believe it stands for wise, optimistic, dauntless, and serene. Boss, what in the world? There's no time for a psychology test.
I can't say my state of mind is exactly serene right now, Mr. Wright.
Shit. I guess erasing just 1 line won't do the trick.
Mr. Wright, please refrain from making things up as you go. All right,
was it reading it backwards? How the number on the transport case can be made to match the bloody writing. No. No, I think it has to be erasing 2 lines then. I could just save. Don't worry about it. Please erase the 3rd downward stroke of the W and the curved part of the D.
Well, would you look at that? Leo, he's...
No, Your Honor, it isn't meant to be read as a word. It's the number L10015, which, if you take away the final R, is the exact same number that's on the bomb transport case.
Erase 2 lines that they match up, you say? Well, I can change anything into anything else simply by erasing 2 lines. What if we erase 2 lines from your name? Would you be happy as Mr. Wright?
Well, would you, Mr. Wright?
The only right spelling is right. Okay, I'm doing pretty well here, and I think I'm down the right conclusion. Detective Arm's real message to us is the bomb transport case number. Your Honor, the 2 lines were added by the real culprit to intentionally mislead people.
What?
The original message Detective Arm left behind was the transport case number. But whoever assaulted Apollo changed the message. If you're right, boss, then what do you suppose Detective Arm was trying to tell us? Good question. What does this number represent? Oh, hello. Filter. Excuse me. Swap back.
Do you see this number here? That is my identification number.
Candace Arm lost her life in the courtroom bombing. Her dying message could only have had one purpose.
No.
To tell us the name of the one responsible for the bombing.
Well, don't keep us in suspense, Mr. Wright. Tell us who she was trying to name.
The culprit that the victim was trying to identify is none other than... Oh, if I got it wrong here, that would just be sad. The defense wishes to indict Mr. Ted Tonate on the charges of the courtroom bombing.
Ted Tonate.
Apparently, disabling bombs isn't Mr. Tonate's only specialty. Somehow, the victim must have realized that he was the bomber. So, when she was caught in the blast, she left his bomb transport case number as her dying message. She used Mr. Tonate's own ID number to finger him for the crime.
It was the judge! What? I didn't do it, Mr. Wright. Guilty. You're guilty.
Why would anyone go out of their way to write an ID number? Wouldn't they simply write the person's name?
He's got a good point there. But what if she didn't know his name?
What do you have to say to that, Mr. Wright?
That only Detective Arm would know the answer to that, but allow me to offer a theory. Perhaps Detective Arm couldn't recall Mr. Tonate's name in the heat of the moment. As I recall, this was the first meeting between the two. It's entirely possible they wouldn't have been familiar with each other. Or maybe using the ID number was a way to hide the true meaning from the real culprit, thus lowering the odds that they would erase the bloody writing. But he can definitely identify his own freaking number. All right. But no matter what the reason, the important thing is the meaning behind the message. The fact remains, she wrote Mr. Tonate's ID number.
Now, just one moment here. There hasn't been any proof yet that it was indeed Detective Arm who wrote it. The bloody writing wasn't found during the investigation after the blast. If Detective Arm had left the message, it should have been found at the time. Naturally, Mr. Tonate hid it before anyone could discover it. And there's a simple explanation for how he was able to do so. Mr. Tonate was able to cover the message up because he... I'm gonna save over this one, because I think the other one has more health. Just in case I need to do some hardcore backtracking. Mr. Tonate was able to cover the message up because he's a stickler for details. The first to find the body. Wearing those weird goggles.
Well, I would have to assume that he would probably be the first one to discover the body. Why would wearing weird goggles save him in a time like this? I think it's the first to find the body. The first person to discover the body writing was Mr. Tonate himself.
I was the first one on the scene after the explosion. I went there to ensure safety, but I ended up discovering a dead body.
Oh yeah, I remember that now. Shit. When Mr. Tonate saw the victim had written his ID number, he used the bomb transport case to cover up the bloody writing as a stopgap measure. Oh, so that's why the message in blood was under the transport case. He didn't have enough time to try and scrub away the writing. If he didn't report the body right away, he would look suspicious. So those letters lived on to serve another function, when Mr. Tonate used them in another incident.
Oh, the assault on Mr. Justice!
Exactly. Mr. Tonate hit upon a plan to use the bloody writing for his own purposes. So he didn't clean it away. Instead, he made it look like Mr. Justice wrote it, by adding 2 lines to the writing that Detective Arm left behind. You know, we could technically test the blood in that case. He changed the meaning of the message. He made it look like Mr. Justice was accusing Miss Woods of the attack. So that means the only person who could have altered the bloody writing was the courtroom bomber, who was the same person that assaulted Mr. Justice. And that person is Ted Tonate. Aren't you glad that we currently live in a state of time where we can actually do blood tests as opposed to just burning witches? I'm so comfortable now.
Order in the court! Order, I say! It looks like we will have to hear from the bomb specialist himself. Mr. Payne, please have Mr. Tonate take the witness stand.
Unless he ran away.
Yes, Your Honor.
That was great, Mr. Wright. Just doing what I do best, which is flying by the seat of my pants. Hello there.
Dismantling the case is yours. Do you think you can handle it? I look forward to seeing you try.
I finally drawn Mr. Tonate back onto the witness stand. Looks like you'll get your wish, Goggle Man. Now watch me take your lies apart. Let the drama continue. Hello, sir. Very stoic. Scared of being on the stand again?
Mr. Tonate, I'm afraid we have a few more questions for you.
I understand the situation, Your Honor. I was keeping a close eye on the proceedings from the gallery. The allegations are all laughable.
Objection!
You can't laugh, you're a robot! I wouldn't be laughing if I were you, Mr. Tonate. The message in blood matches your ID number. Ah, very nice. We happen to have it here. The same ID number that is there on that bomb transport case.
Such a far-fetched theory, no better than a tangled ball of wires.
I have them untangled for you in no time at all.
No!
You're wrong button.
You were the first person on the scene after Detective Arm left the message in blood. You were the only one who could have hidden the writing and then used it again later.
I see, ×2. But then, let me ask you, do you have any proof that Detective Arm wrote that message?
That's a very good question. Well, do you, Mr. Wright?
The best way to prove that Detective Arm wrote that message is to... Well, we could analyze the handwriting, but... like I said previously, I think a really good way to do this would probably be to analyze the DNA. I think both cases, we're probably going to need to take some time to analyze both, but... Your Honor, I request that a DNA test be performed on the blood itself. Once we know who it is, it'll be obvious as to who wrote the message. Oh, don't you shield yourself, you bastard.
Very well. Bailiff, please put in a request for a DNA test with the forensics team.
Yes, Your Honor.
It'll be some time before we have the results of the
I feel like either one of those answers probably were right. It's just like, we have the, the handwriting analysis. It's clearly, it's clearly on this side. And the same would have been said for the blood test for the other one.
Until then, let's hear more from the witness.
I would like nothing more, Your Honor. I want the court to hear how ridiculous the defense's theory is.
I really opened my eyes. How ridiculous am I?
I admit I was the first one on the scene after the explosion, but there was no bloody writing there at the time. Anyway, there is no way Detective Arm could have written it. She struck her head on rubble and died near the courtroom entrance. She was too far away from where the bloody message was found.
Can she stumble that far? So you're saying that the victim's body was nowhere near where the writing was?
Precisely. It is as plain as day that she could not have written it.
It's true that the body was discovered near the entrance to the courtroom. Please have a look at the crime scene photo. As you can see, there is blood on the rubble near the victim's body. She must have died after hitting her head there.
Yeah, but...
I see. All right then, Mr. Wright. You may cross-examine the witness.
Do you have what it takes to take my infallible testimony apart?
I don't know. I have like one possible hit left. So I guess we'll see. First one in the scene after the explosion. Why were you the first person on the scene?
I work with bombs, you douchebag, to secure the area. It is regulation for a bomb disposal specialist to enter first.
In other words, you had the opportunity to alter the bloody writing then, didn't you? Assumptions, assumptions.
Well...
Mr. Wright, please don't interrupt. Mr. Toadate is about to give testimony that will show just how wrong your reasoning is.
Darn, I think he was about to say something interesting too.
When I went in and saw the aftermath, well, it was quite the disaster. But there was no bloody writing there at the time.
You were able to tell this even with those goggles on.
With these goggles, there is no way I could have missed something like that. I can see quite well with them. In fact, I can see every hair on your spiky head. Oh, you have a few grays, Mr. Wright.
That's from all the stress of this court hearing. What? Poor Mr. Wright. You're always working so hard, keeping our office together.
Wait a minute, I don't have any gray hairs.
Just kidding.
I object to the witness's attempt to prematurely give me gray hair. Mr. Toadate, this court frowns upon untoward comments to a person's hair or lack thereof. I've had some people thrown in jail for that one.
I'm sensing a great sorrow coming from the judge.
My apologies, Your Honor. May I please continue my testimony? Anyway, there is no way Detective Arm could have written it.
If she didn't write it, then what do you propose did?
Mr. Justice, of course. Just before dying, he wrote the name of his attacker, Juniper Woods.
A final message from your poor subordinate.
Poor Mr. Justice, I'm starting to get all misty-eyed. He's not dead, you shitheads!
Apollo's not dead, folks. So how can you be so sure it wasn't Detective Arm who wrote the message?
It is very simple. She had struck her head on rubble and died near the courtroom entrance.
Do you imagine she was thrown back by the force of the blast?
A bomb can inflict damage not only from the explosion itself, but also substantial secondary damage from the blast wind.
Detective Arm unfortunately hit her head on some rubble. It's stated in her autopsy report as well. Cause of death, trauma to back of head.
Ah, the autopsy report. Better take another... Subtle game. Subtle. Cause of death, trauma... Okay, back of head. Caused by impact with a flat object. Time of death between 11... Alright, anything else aside from that? Not really. So, flat object. I wonder if that has got any specifics about that one. Trauma to back of head caused by impact with flat object. And you know what? Being thrown into rubble, I would say... Could that technically be considered flat? I guess we'd have to pull semantics on that one.
Now, do you see? Detective Arm could not have written that message. The reason for that being... she was too far away from where the bloody message was found.
Hold it!
Isn't it possible she could have crawled to the area of the bloody message?
If that were true, then how did she return to the spot near the entrance?
Maybe she crawled back after writing it? Hey, did this guy just me?
Would you like to get down on the floor and give us a demonstration of your theory?
No, thank you. The victim's body and the writing are several yards away from each other. There's no way she could reach. Oh, hold on a second.
Quite the conundrum.
So that means something is off somewhere. There must be a contradiction. Here. I armed a recording, just making sure that that didn't do something weird. Okay. Maybe the body was moved. But that doesn't explain how blood got onto the rubble. What if that was done by the real culprit after the fact? If that's the case, then something about that might contradict the evidence we have. Alright. So, first of all, I'm going to save. Just because I want to be safe here. There we go. Okay, so my guess is that it probably has something to do with this picture. Especially considering it's very clearly showing me a picture, just being like, here's your proof. She had struck her head on rubble and died near the courtroom entrance. So, the interesting thing about this is that it appears that her head would have smacked on the corner of that rock over there. But it says in here that it was an impact with a flat object. I guess if you wanted to pull bullshit, you could say that, oh, no, this is not a flat surface here. It's a corner. So let's see if this works. Oh, wait a minute.
Objection!
Okay. Yep. You are a terrible liar, Mr. Tonate. Beep boop. Take a look at this autopsy, specifically the part about Detective Arm's head injury. Cause of death, trauma to back of head, caused by impact with a flat object.
Yes, what about it?
Now take a good look at the bloody piece of rubble. It's sharp and pointed. Hey, you're right, boss. It is pointy. Just like your hair.
That is odd, isn't it? What could be the meaning of this contradiction?
I believe it means the victim did not hit her head on this piece of rubble. The blood stain you see is just another fabrication. Its purpose is to mislead us into thinking the victim died near the courtroom entrance. So somehow she managed to figure out that it was Mr. Tonate here.
Are you claiming the culprit moved the victim's body?
That's exactly what I'm claiming. The victim hit her head at some other location, most likely on the floor or some other flat surface. And this location was somewhere near where the bloody writing was found. In that case, she definitely could have written the message. Your Honor, I have the results of the bloodstain analysis.
Very good timing. Let's take a look. According to the report, the message was written in Detective Arm's blood. And as the defense claims, only the parts of the message that were added afterwards were written in Mr. Justice's blood. It would appear that the defense's assertion is correct after all.
Waka waka. You gotta love living in this reality where these kind of stupid things happen. Yes, you did it! You were right, boss! Now I have to drive it home. I'll have to take a good look at the bloody writing analysis later. Or I could take a good look at it right now, considering I have the court record at all times. So, let's see. A report that proves that the writing was done in Detective Arm's blood. Okay. Oh, hey, funny enough. Do you see that tiny spot on the picture that I was talking about? Note that.
Ones.
Mr. Tonate, it is now apparent that you have told several lies to this court. I hope you have some sort of explanation for yourself.
Fine, I will confess.
You will? But then, why are you so calm?
I am robot, I am calm. This time, I will tell the truth.
Alright.
It is true that Detective Arm wrote my AIDA number. She very plainly wrote L10015R. I was shocked, but I did not detonate the bomb. Detective Arm must have mistaken me for the real bomber. Not wanting to be accused, I moved the body and covered the writing. My bad.
My bad! Bullcrap! I see. So it is your assertion that you merely moved the body. Is that it?
That is correct. I did not kill Detective Arm.
Right. So you're going for, like, the best case scenario of, like, okay, I tampered with a crime scene. That's all I did. Arrest me for that, but don't arrest me for anything else.
Oh, well, if that's all you did, then... Wait a minute! That in and of itself is a crime! Yeah, a criminal act!
Glad to see you finally crossed that finish line, Your Honor.
Very well, then. Your cross-examination, please, Mr. Wright.
Okay. Detective Arm wrote your ID number. Okay, cool. So you admit that you actually did see the bloody writing that Detective Arm left?
My bad. I should have said so from the outset.
And you are sure it was your ID number?
I am sure. It was definitely my ID number. That number was assigned exclusively to me by the police department. The number is assigned to my goggles as well.
So those funky things were provided by the police department. That's where our state funding is going. Fancy goggles. It's not a bad place to put it, actually.
Although these are special goggles customized by me personally.
Speaking of personalized, these sunglasses of mine were custom made as well. They were specially created to be particularly dark and shiny.
Speaking of special, my gavel.
Sorry, why the hell did I press that button?
Robo-Judge, beat boop.
Speaking of special, my gavel is made of mahogany and was custom made as well. It was specially created to make a particularly loud and resounding sound. Bang, bang, bang.
Wait.
Resounding sound!
I am failing all the cues today. Wish I had something to brag about. You have very spiky hair. Be all that as it may, I just want to reconfirm you saw the bloody writing clearly. And that it was your ID number?
That is correct. My ID number was written in blood on the floor. She very plainly wrote L10015R. I was shocked.
L10015R. And it was written after the bomb went off in the courtroom?
Correct. I didn't know why she would write it, so that sent me into a panic.
Sounds like you were in quite a tizzy.
If I were in his shoes, I guess it would have psyched me out too. I can't imagine coming across the message, "Psychs," written in blood. If I saw "gasp in pain" written in blood, it'd certainly make me gasp. Rest assured, Mr. Tonate, I understand how you must have felt. Enough to commit a crime?
And so you discovered your ID number written in blood at the scene, and...
That is right. I saw it with my own eyes. It very clearly said L10015R. But I did not detonate the bomb. Oops. Damn it. Hold on. Hold the phone.
Hold it! Hello, Tim. Didn't you? The victim may have had special knowledge of who the bomber was.
I have no idea what thoughts Detective R may have had inside her head. It's not like I ever dismantled her mind to check.
Mr. Wright, if you have suspicions about the witness, let's see your proof. Evidence is everything in a court of law. Even school children know that.
Do they? Ooh, nice emote. Hold that.
How many years have you been a defense attorney now?
Cut me some slack, will you? Don't feel bad, boss. You just got your attorney's badge back after all.
Yeah, are we ever going to acknowledge that?
We had some weird shit go down. In that sense, you're still more of a beginner than I am. I suppose I should be thankful you're not a licensed psychologist.
Mr. Tonate, please continue with your testimony.
With pleasure. My ID number was left at the scene, but Detective R must have mistaken me for the real bomber.
By mistaken, do you mean you had nothing to do with the explosion?
That is correct. That is why I was so shocked when I saw my ID number.
The victim may have suspected Mr. Tonate for no reason other than the fact that, as the bomb specialist, he was in charge of the bomb.
Bomb? Oh.
Shit. In other words, everyone's going robot today. In other words, a false accusation. It's vocational discrimination, I say.
I do not support discrimination of any kind.
Well spoken, Your Honor. If the victim had been found to be killed with a gavel, Mr. Bluesuit over there probably would have pinned the crime on you.
It's all a simulation. I like that theory. Was there a stream last Wednesday, or did you just not see it? I'm actually getting over, well, not really getting over, I'm still kind of in the middle of being a little bit sick. So, no, I actually was, oh, hey, yeah, you heard I was a bit sick from the conductor oh, geez. Yeah, I said that in the comments. Yeah, I was still sick, so I'm just like, you know, I think it'd be better just to not do stream. It's like, I'm way too dizzy to be doing any of this stuff and yelling at the top of my lungs. I'm okay today, though.
He would? Well, that just wouldn't do. Mr. Wright, if you dare try to pin anything on me, I will find you in contempt of court.
Good choice. Thank you. I'm trying not to do stuff like that. I'm trying not to put myself down to a schedule and say, no, I have to play video games on this day, on this time, at this specific moment. I still have my schedule, but if I need to take a sick day or if I need to take a day off, I will try to take it off. But yeah, if you want to know any information about when I decide to skip streams or stuff, I tend to announce that kind of stuff on Twitter. So if you feel like it, maybe follow that. I don't know. But I've never even tried to harm a hair on a strand on your beard, Your Honor. Yeah, again, do not have him hold you in contempt of court.
Well said, Mr. Penn, because I am so closely associated with bombs, I was afraid I would be prosecuted if anyone saw the bloody writing. Not wanting to be accused, I moved the body and covered the writing. My bad.
This is not a my bad kind of situation. You committed a crime, sir. Thank you. Oh yeah, no problem. I'm surprised that you put that much effort into rewriting the entirety of the script. Pretty much entirely. You didn't think to clean away the bloody writing?
I didn't have time. By the time I found the message, the blood was already dry. The police were waiting just outside for me to secure the room, and I still had to move the body. I was in a panic. With no time to spare, I temporarily covered the writing with my case.
Didn't you think the police would find it during their investigation?
Regulation stipulates only specialists may touch transport cases. Because of the danger, you see. I thought I would clean up the writing once they were finished, My bad.
Stop saying that.
My bad. You did a crime. Yes. No. This is absolutely it. This is a horrible crime. It's like going over and punching somebody at a 7-Eleven and just being like, oops. Oops, I murdered. My bad. Does he really think that will just magically smooth everything over? This guy's something else. And I don't believe Detective Arm's dying message was just some mistake. He won't wiggle out of this that easily. What did Mr. Tonate see when he first discovered the bloody writing? There has to be a contradiction hidden in his testimony somewhere. Very well, so I don't think I unlocked anything new with that, so I'm gonna save. Just to be safe, because I have like one chance left. True, the Detective Arm wrote my ID number. She very plainly wrote that. Well, if we're gonna be stupidly technical about this... Oops, wait a minute. Yeah, I'm gonna be... I think I don't want to think too far ahead into the future, but we do have this piece of evidence that was just added. Bloody writing analysis. And I guess if we want to be really stupidly technical about this, right now it doesn't say the actual ID number.
Objection!
That'll probably be, you know, we'll probably reveal that sometime later. I just want to make doubly sure that L10015R is really what you saw written in blood.
Yes, it very clearly said L10015R.
But that's odd, because that's not what I see.
Objection!
What on earth are you babbling on about now? Wasn't it you who claimed that the bloody writing with his ID number in the first place?
Take a good look at the photo and the bloody writing analysis. Now tell me, does it really say L10015R?
Oh.
Yeep! Something is missing, isn't it? And that something is the final R.
What is the meaning of this, Mr. Tonate?
Talk, you robotic bastard.
Right, now I remember. There was no R on the end. It was just a slip of the finger. My bad.
Come back! My beautiful contradiction! Mr. Wright, I'm not so sure it was just a simple slip of the finger. You have something for me, Athena? I sense that he's extremely agitated, almost panicked. He does look pretty flustered. And also, that thing is gonna explode in here.
Well, Mr. Wright, it appears it was nothing more than a mere mistake.
I don't know. Did he really just make a typo? What about that R? Did Mr. Tonate really see it? He saw it. Maybe Mr. Tonate really did see the R. But there's no R anywhere in the bloody writing. What's going on here? Huh? Now that I take another good look at the photo, I think maybe... That's it! What is it now, Mr. Wright? Just stop screaming. Are you trying to imitate Apollo and his cords of steel? Cords of steel! I've got it! So that's what happened! A slip of the finger? Is that really all it was? Because I don't think so. I propose that Mr. Tonate really did see the letter R.
But the photo clearly shows that there is no R.
No, Your Honor. Actually, just the opposite is true. The photo shows that Mr. Tonate actually could have seen the R.
If you're going to make that claim, then you'd better be able to point out what you mean.
Just in case. I'm just going ahead and say, your favorite character is Uncle Tom. We don't need this old Mario. Get him out of here. He is the best character. You can find his games like New Super Uncle Tom Brothers. I don't know. I just feel like, what the heck would somebody call Mario if they had no freaking idea who Mario or Mario Brothers were? Old Uncle Tom. There we go.
What part of the photo shows that Mr. Tonate could have seen the R?
Well, there's a tiny little sliver of blood right over here.
Take that!
Please look here to the right side of the 5. Do you see a little bit of red?
I see it just on the edge of where the floor is broken up.
That's the R that Mr. Tonate saw.
It's true that the witness wears some very, very odd goggles, but that doesn't mean his eyesight is bad, nor his brain power. What part of that little smudge looks like an R to you?
But what Mr. Tonate saw wasn't that little smudge. There was a whole and complete R written here, before the floor was damaged by the explosion.
Well, that explains it. Huh?
Care to explain what you mean? Because you just proposed that everything happened in the exact opposite order. Yep, because that's the way it really went down. The timing of when the R was written turns everything about this case around. Now then, if the floor was damaged by the explosion, when was the message written? Yup. When the body message... with the bloody message running off the edge of the damaged floor like that, we can only conclude that it was written before the explosion.
But that's ridiculous. If that were true, it overturns your own premise.
That's right, it does. In fact, it turns everything upside down. The victim was not killed by the explosion in the courtroom. She was killed before the explosion ever occurred. Oh.
Order in the court!
What kind of preposterous claim is that? Have you forgotten that the victim's body was found at the scene of the explosion?
True, but consider this scenario. She was hit on the head and killed before the explosion, or even before the trial began. Her body was subsequently placed in the courtroom ruins after the bombing occurred. That way, it could be made to look like she was a victim of the blast.
What?
Sounds like we'd better look into what the victim was doing before the trial. Mr. Payne, did anyone see Detective Arm before the trial?
Let's see. According to the police report, here it is. One person saw the victim before the trial, and that person was Ted Tonate. Wait, what?
No one besides Mr. Tonate saw the victim?
That appears to be the case, Your Honor.
Sucker! I would now ask the court to recall something. Specifically, Mr. Tonate's words from yesterday.
It was when Detective Arm and I were transporting the bomb.
Oh my!
Mr. Tonate, just before the trial, you were with the victim. The two of you were together at the scene of the crime, courtroom number 4. Your Honor, the defense requests new testimony from Mr. Tonate. We wish to hear what he has to say about his whereabouts just before the trial.
Mr. Tonate, your testimony, please.
My testimony? There's no need for...
He's completely unnerved, Mr. Wright. You must have hit the nail on the head.
Because all I did was transport the bomb to the courtroom. I already told you both.
Are you blast this thing? I was only in the courtroom with the victim because of the work. I swear, I was only transporting the bomb there.
You and the victim were alone together at the scene of the crime. In other words, you certainly had the opportunity to commit murder, did you not?
Tisk. Do you always leave yourself so open to attacks, Mr. Wright?
What now, you asshole? What now, Mr. Payne?
Yes, Mr. Tonate may have had the opportunity to kill Detective Arm, but an important piece of your assertion is missing.
What important piece?
The murder weapon. What do you claim was used to kill the victim?
Mr. Payne has a point. Even if Mr. Tonate had the chance without a weapon, we can't accuse him of the crime.
Why not? I feel like it's reasonable.
Well, Mr. Tonate...
Oh, yeah, that's right. I didn't have any sort of thing that could be used as a murder weapon on me. I couldn't possibly have killed Detective Arm.
Did he really have nothing he could use as a murder weapon? Well, I don't know. Let's see what this save menu has to say about that. What's that? He did? Oh, nice. What is it, Athena? Just looking over the victim's autopsy report. I'm hoping there's something in here that can point us in the right direction. Well, it does say that she died from trauma to the back of the head with a flat object. Ooh, we're having some weird glitches with YouTube. Is everything all right? It seems like it's still online. Here, I'm gonna refresh it on my own end because it might be weird on my end. Oh yeah, it's fine. Okay, cool. Or maybe not. All right. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, and to inflict that specific kind of injury, all you would need is a flat surface, right? A heavy, blunt object with a flat surface could definitely be our murder weapon.
Well, Mr. Wright, can you indict for the court what was used to kill Detective Arm?
I believe I can. Believe being the key word here.
You can. Then please do so now. What did Mr. Tonate have that could have been used as the murder weapon?
I don't think he would have been able to, like, straight up smack her with the case. There's a part of me that kind of feels like it might have been the bomb. Oh. YouTube still being a stupid. Okay. Give me a moment. Still being dumb. Okay, yeah. Every other service is currently doing perfectly fine. Stream's running fine for you? Well, that's good. Alright, if you're having stream troubles, jump over to Twitch. That is all I can say. Twitch is one of the more stable platforms that I could possibly get, like, you know, at the current disposal. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and just post it in the chat. If you're still having any kind of problems, head over there and watch the stream over there. You can even stay within the YouTube chat if you wanted to. What has a flat surface, is metal, and can be held in someone's hand. I know! I was just about to press this. But YouTube decided to be a dick. Mr. Tonate, you say you didn't have anything that could be used as a weapon. But in fact, you had the perfect thing.
What? What the devil are you talking about?
You had this.
That's the bomb. I thought you were trying to prove that the victim wasn't killed by the bomb blast.
Bombs are physical, Your Honor. The bomb blast? No. But I believe Candace Arm was killed with this bomb. That's an interesting voice for him. I don't know. I think it's pretty good, I think. Because this is the blunt object that delivered the fatal blow to her head. Please recall the description of Detective Arm's head wound. Trauma to back of head caused by impact with a flat object. We assume this injury was sustained with her head hit the floor. But a blow from any flat side of the bomb would produce the exact same wound pattern. Oh boy. He's lost it. Well, what's with him?
Show me some proof. Where's the evidence that I hit the victim with the bomb?
He's right. I don't have anything decisive. That's because he blew up the evidence.
Did you find any of the victim's blood on the bomb? That'd be a decisive proof. But too bad. The bomb's blown to bits. It's long gone. Boom. Game over. Yeah.
Tonate is a maniac. Absolutely. Mr. Wright, is there really nothing on the bomb in this photo? I don't see any blood or anything. Wait, the timer display is a little broken here. Oh, thanks for showing me that. I saw that right before you said the thing. Maybe it broke when it made contact with Detective Arm's head. That's definitely a distinct possibility. But unless we find a fragment with the victim's blood on it, it's not gonna count. I guess you're right. Game over. Oh, son of a bitch. Yeah, YouTube's still having problems. Here. It's stable on Twitch. That's all I can tell you. Elsie has arrived on the Twitch chat. I mean, like, people can still use the YouTube chat. I can still read it. It's the stream itself that's being stupid. Okay. By setting off the bomb, Tonate managed to obliterate all traces of the murder weapon. What in the world do I do now? It's way more clear here. Yeah, YouTube, I don't know. YouTube's kind of iffy when it comes to stream quality. Anyway, at times like this, I've got to change gears and look at things in a different way. Instead of looking for the things he wasn't able to hide, I should be looking for a way to expose the things he did hide. Ted Tonate murdered Detective Arm before the trial started. Then he placed the body in the courtroom after the bomb went off, which means there was something he needed to keep hidden until then. And I think I have just the thing. Time to present the photo that shows exactly what Mr. Tonate had to hide. Interesting. Oh, I can save on this screen. Holy shit. That's different. You think you're just going to use Twitch from now on anyways? That's what I prefer. Like, I've tried to make YouTube work, but it's every once in a while it is kind of glitchy. That, and it's always been plagued with some really bad lag too. All right. So, what Mr. Tonate had to... What did he have to hide? Let me look at the details here. Maybe there's something inside this that he specifically wanted to hide. And once it kicked you for talking too much. Man, YouTube, there's many different problems. Alright, it can't be the crack. Or could it? What exactly would you be trying to hide in this scenario? Well, technically, switch that starts the time bomb's countdown stolen just before the blast and is now missing. Could that have something to do with it? Because it's still hiding. I'm bored, so I'm just going to do that. Your Honor, please take a look at this. The fact that Mr. Tonate hid this makes it decisive evidence for my case.
I'm not sure I really understand what you mean by that, Mr. Wright.
I'm not sure either, Your Honor.
Me either.
Here's a penalty to inspire you to make more comprehensive assertions in the future.
I lose.
That's enough. I see no need to further prolong this trial. The defense's case is insufficient to overturn the prosecution's claims. This court finds the defendant, Juniper Woods, guilty.
I do like how cinematic everything is now. So, what happens when I press try again? I'm curious about that. The door just opens up again. Perhaps. Uh-oh. Nope. I do have all my health back, though. Or did I choose that already? Okay, I did. I think I did. The body! Are we talking the body? I'm gonna just choose the body. Your Honor! There's something we've all been overlooking. That's what I was thinking. Maybe there's something hidden on her. If the murder took place before the trial, then Mr. Tonate would have had to hide the body somewhere during the trial. Hey, you're right. And if we can figure out where that hiding place was, exactly, we might be able to find some evidence we can pin him down with. So where could Mr. Tonate have hidden the body during the trial? Oh my god. You son of a bitch! You stuffed her body in a container. Wait, a box big enough for a body. A box that was in the courtroom the whole time. A box nobody would touch if they thought there was a bomb in it. Mr. Tonate.
What is it? Do you finally have some decisive evidence to show me?
No, you're the one who's going to show it to me.
Come again?
You heard me. Now, show me what's inside that bomb transport case.
What? Why? No, there's no need.
I've got him now. Just before the trial, you killed the victim with a blunt object. And then you placed her body in the ruins of the courtroom after the bomb went off. Clearly, you were trying to make it look like she died in the explosion. But where was the body hidden during the trial?
Oh, I hadn't thought of that.
The answer is right here. Inside a box made of thick alloy plating that can withstand any impact.
No, that's completely false.
If it's false, you should have no objections to showing us your transport case. So, let's open it up and take a look inside, shall we? Open, open, open. Who? You? Oh, is that against protocol or some shit?
Let's not. Not if you value your life.
What's he up to now?
Remain calm and listen carefully. This bomb will detonate in 5 minutes.
What?
Huh?
I repeat, this HH-3000 will detonate in 5 minutes.
What's going on?
Your Honor, I recommend you adjourn this trial before this bomb goes off.
Mr. Tonate, are you threatening me?
I am the only one who can disable this bomb. If you do not want to die, your only option is to listen to me.
But, Mr. Tonate, didn't you say that's just a training model? A fake to practice on?
I did, but I also lied. This is the real deal. This is the HH-3000.
But the HH-3000 was used to blow up courtroom number 4, wasn't it?
How do you know it was the real HH-3000 that blew up courtroom number 4?
Huh?
The bomb that blew up the courtroom was a different one. One that I made.
Well, then are we to take that as a confession on your part?
Take it any way you would like. Just before the trial, I took the HH-3000 out of the stuffed animal and put my own bomb into it. That was the bomb that exploded and destroyed courtroom number 4.
Mr. Tonate, please be reasonable. Do you really expect us to believe a crazy story like that?
The HH-3000, it is so unique. I had never seen anything like it. It is so unique that I could not replicate the detonation mechanism. So I just had to have it. Besides, did anyone look inside the stuffed animal during the trial? Did anyone check to see if it really was the HH-3000 in there?
I must confess, no one opened the stuffed animal to check.
So, there really is a possibility that the bomb was switched out?
No, not a possibility. A certainty I did it.
So he's had a real bomb with him this whole time.
You had better get out of here while you can. You do not have much time.
I'm calling fibs. I don't think he's telling the truth.
Order in the court.
I'm out of here. It's gonna blow. Run! Oh God. Yep, we're all sticking around. Shit.
You 4 are still here? Well, aren't you brave?
It just wouldn't do for the judge presiding over the court to run. But that horrible explosion the other day.
The judge looks like he's about to book it for the nearest exit any second. And Mr. Payne. I figured he'd just be like chewing on his, Yep, that's it! Ah! Goodbye. And he's off. Mr. Wright, what do we do? You're the one with the emotion thing. Dude, I suppose he is not currently talking. He's currently talking through a computer, so that's not gonna work. We can't call his bluff. Oh, that'd be pretty pathetic to run now, wouldn't it? But the bomb might really go off!
Only 3 more minutes, folks.
Is that bomb really the HH-3000? What should I do? Run like a yellow-bellied chicken. No. Cinematic! I can't run now.
Well, it's been fun, but I will be going now. with my dear HH3000, naturally. Oh, and by the way, I would advise against having me followed. Even with no remote switch, this bomb can still be triggered manually. If I think I'm being followed, I will detonate it on the spot. Farewell.
Don't you dare move, you sly bastard. You're not going anywhere, Ted Tonate.
Oh,
Your Honor, there's no reason to be afraid. That bomb's a fake. Oh my god, the balls to say that.
Are you sure, Mr. Wright?
More of your famous bluffing. Even at the risk of your own life.
Mr. Wright, none of your bluffing now. Not at a time like this. Lives are on the line here. Specifically mine.
I'm not bluffing, and I have proof.
You do?
Yes, of course, Your Honor. It's right here in the photo of the bomb, clear as day. Proof that Mr. Tonate's bomb is not the real HH3000.
Really? Out with it then, immediately.
Where is the proof that Mr. Tonate is holding what is not the real HH3000? Well, we have a couple of options here. It's either the fact that we're looking inside this cavity and we can see nothing, or this crack. Is the display on the other one cracked? I don't think it is. The display for the timer on the bomb in the photo is broken. Most likely it broke when Mr. Tonate used the bomb to attack Detective Arm. But the display on the bomb in front of us is not broken.
Oh, you're right.
Therefore, this is not the real HH3000. Mr. Tonate was clearly lying when he said he switched out the bomb in the stuffed animal. The real HH3000 blew up in courtroom number 4. This bomb is nothing more than a fake, a model used for trading purposes. How do we know he doesn't have two? He had one. Fear not, Your Honor. I will examine the inside of the bomb transport case myself. Do you have a key?
Yes, please do that, Mr. Wright.
No, stop!
Aha. More like H.H. Gregg. Christmas in July. 45-inch LCD TV, 2 nut. What the heck are you even talking about? Is that a reference to a rap song?
What is that? Is that a bloodstain?
Just as I expected. Your lies have all been blown to bits, Mr. Tonate. I'm confident DNA analysis on this bloodstain will confirm that it is Detective Arm's blood. And that those results will conclusively prove that you murdered Detective Arm. How about it, Mr. Tonate? Think you can dismantle this decisive evidence? Please lose your shit.
Dismantle it. You're too late. You missed your chance to run, so now you're out of time. This HH3000 is about to explode.
Don't try to threaten us, Mr. Tonate. I've already proved that your bomb is a fake.
It's real. This bomb is a real thing, I tell you. It's real.
Mad Barmer, a party of one.
There's no time left. It's gonna blow. I have to disarm it. I have to take it apart. I can dismantle anything. I can take apart evidence. I can take apart bombs. I can dismantle it all. Dismantle, 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 dismantle.
I think the only thing exploding now is him.
I'm not gonna make it. One thing left to do.
Oh dear. Jesus Christ.
Made it.
EMT. We need an EMT. Uh-oh.
Game.
Oh, wait. Wait. Damn it. I don't have a good, like, game over thing set up here. Oh, well.
It's all over. My life has been blown to pieces. It's all that stupid woman's fault. I was selling the bombs I dismantled on the black market. When I tried to take this one, she just had to notice, didn't she? She confronted me in courtroom number 4 that day. That's why I had no choice. Before I knew what I was doing, I hit her. It's all her fault. While I was looking for a place to hide her body, she left a message in her own blood. The trial was about to start, so I didn't have time to clean it up. And now all this. I thought for sure I could disguise her death with an explosion. Then that stupid defense attorney started sticking his nose into my business. After my testimony yesterday, I went to courtroom number 4 and I found that kid all up in my bomb transport case. That's when I snuck up behind him, and bam! And when the idiot police arrested that little girl, I thought for sure I could pin it all on her. Why? Oh, why?
Your eyes are frickin' charcoal, man. Gosh, the cinematics in this are amazing. I really like it. It's a big difference from just, you know, the cardboard cutouts that are basically all of the sprites that were in the previous characters. It's nice to see all 3D stuff. Also, it's a reference to a Kmart commercial. I have not seen it. Is that a newer Kmart commercial? It's really lame. I am assuming the answer is yes. He's a human snowman. Oh my god, you're right.
Ted Toney, you are hereby under arrest on suspicion of the courtroom bombing and the assault on Mr. Justice.
Also terroristic threats. Holy shit.
Your innocence or guilt will be determined on a later trial. Now then, I see that members of the public have returned to the gallery. One person, however, seems to still be running far, far away.
Spineless bastard.
Be that as it may, I will now announce Miss Juniper Wood's verdict.
And perjury. Yep. Even Professor Layton versus Ace Attorney didn't have cinematics on this level. Wait till I see Ace Attorney 6. One of the breakdowns is like a 3-minute cinematic. I love that. I'm looking forward to that so much.
Not guilty!
Bring on the confetti! Congrats, little missy. You ain't been locked up. We're all so smug. Case 2.
Court is adjourned.
And YouTube is still kind of in the shitter. Jesus, what happened? I'm going to have to check that a little bit later. December 18th, 2:31 p.m., District Court, Defendant Lobby, number 5. Get in it, boss! Yeah, I guess we managed to pull it off somehow. So many mysteries cleared up all at once. It was amazing. It just sort of worked out that way, didn't it? It's not the kind of thing that usually just works out. You made it happen. And the way that and the way that mean old prosecutor hightailed it out of here, that was great. Mr. Wright, Thena, thank you for everything you did for me. I'm so happy for you, Junie. Now you can go back home and the forest in peace. I hope both of you will come and visit me there sometime. The air is probably fresher, so yes. This is a very, very stuffy courthouse. That would be nice. Thank you for the invitation. I don't know, Mr. Wright. I'm not sure you could make it all the way up to Junie's house. How high up do you live again, Junie? Around 3,000 feet, I think.
What? That's no forest. That's a mountain.
But you know, boss, there's something that still bothers me about the case. Oh, really? Is this one of those things where I need to present something on this thing? Here, hold up a second. One little mystery we never got around to solving. Oh, that? Yeah, I was wondering about that too. Is this the unsolved mystery you're thinking of? I think the unsolved mystery we're talking about is that missing remote switch. The remote switch, right? Yeah, I wonder where it disappeared to. Maybe Mr. Tonate just got rid of it somewhere. Yeah, it is a pretty big thing to leave unsolved, though. Well, let's leave it up to the police to find. For now, we should be celebrating our not guilty verdict. I guess you're right. Hey, I know! Junie, shall we go report the good news? You know, to that certain someone? Okay. Huh? Her grandmother? No, silly, to Apollo! Yeah, love her and... Yeah. Christmas in July ad from 2010 for that, oh, Jesus. For the whole, like, Kmart thing. Woof. Okay. Oh, right. Well, why don't we all go to the hospital together to see him? Great idea. I bet he's bored out of his mind. Okay. And so the courtroom bombing case came to a close, but the next trial was just over the horizon. There's never a dull moment with so many lawyers in the office, that's for sure. Apollo Justice, Athena Sykes, and me, Phoenix Wright. Between the three of us, there's no case we can't solve. When our powers combine, we are Captain Planet. I'm sorry, we are an unstoppable team. At least, that's what I believed. Oh dear. Teaser. But all that changed when the Fire Nation attacked. I'm sorry! But all that changed with what Apollo said to us that day. It was something that would put my faith in us to the ultimate test. Date? Huh? Time? What? Write anything agency. Hey, buddy, how you doing? Still look worse for wear.
Wait, what do
Oh.
you mean by a leave?
Can you at least give me a reason why?
My eye
I
doesn't
can only
work.
say that this is something I must settle on my own.
Hello, Tracy. Well, dag nabbit. No, this very much is one of those, like, oh, Animu, no, I'm tortured.
Oh, why, Apollo? Why are you shutting us out?
Where could he be? It's so dark. Who is holding you down? What happened to you, Apollo? Ever since you put that jacket on, you've changed. Where? Where'd that jacket come from? Why? And now, for whatever reason, all my mind keeps doing is returning to the day I first met you. Uh-oh. Oh, is that going to be the next court case? We tackled our first case together, he and I, this past spring. And as we did, I came to know who he is and how he thinks. It was a very peculiar case, one in which the victim was killed by a mythical creature. Not strange in this universe, really. And that's the end of that chapter. I think that's a real good spot to bookend it for tonight. New episodes have been added. Episode 2, The Monstrous Turnabout. Again, we've run into monsters before, so that's fitting. Anyway, yep, I'm going to save right over here. Tim says, I was a dummy last Phoenix Wright stream. You said the cutscenes were like anime, and if it was an anime, you would watch it. Turns out it is an anime. Oh, yeah. There is. I think, weren't they talking about working on the season 2? I forget. No, I'm talking to Tim over in the YouTube chat. Looks like you have to watch it. I have not watched it, mainly because I've wanted to go through the games first. But anyways, so that'll do it for that. They're adapting Ace Attorney 3 right now. Awesome. Oh, I guess we could take a look at this cutscene real quick. Episode 2. That's about right. We need the Steel Samurai. A nine-tailed fox. Okay, hi. A battle in the sky. It's like some kind of battle of the gods, except... Oh, well...
Long, long ago, the nine-tailed fox defeated the evil Tenmataro and sealed the fallen demon away. To this day, it is said that he slumbers even still within the Forbidden Chamber.
So now that we're going into the mythical stuff, does that mean the Fays are going to show up at some point? Who the heck are you?
Night, night, Alderman. Sweet dreams.
All right. So, I guess there really is a demon in this world, and it's him.
The revival of Tenmataro is at hand.
Really? This cultist shit. Nine-tailed fox, is this some Naruto shit? A few months prior to the core out bombing. Okay, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna look at this the next time that I do the stream. That's just a nice little teaser to some of the ridiculous stuff we're gonna be running into. But, yep, I have been yelling a whole bunch of this episode, and it has been fun. But I am so freaking happy we're diving into, like, another game with Phoenix Wright as, like, one of the main lawyers. That's fun. Well, bye, BitP. Hold on, I'm gonna do my regular outro stuff here. So, thanks everybody who popped into the stream to watch me do stuff. I appreciate it very much. I'm sorry that YouTube has decided to be a butt about things. Matter of fact, before I end today, I'm going to take a really, really quick look just to see what the stream's current processing... Or I want to check to see what the status of it is. It should tell me on the dashboard about what the heck's going on. Oh, no, it's saying that the stream health is great. Oh, okay. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, it's great right now. I would say no to that. Which is funny because I've done all these optimizations to try and work around YouTube, and now it's gotten worse. This is fun. Tinkering around with this stuff is fun. Anyways. I think I'm going to end the stream. Again, if you want to take a look at this after it's done, I guess I'm going to do some cosmetic edits to cut down a few parts where I got stuck. And then I'll be uploading this to the YouTube channel afterwards. I stream on Saturdays, Sundays, and Wednesdays, all of them starting at around 7 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. And some other stuff that I've got going on right now. I'm not entirely sure what I want to do next Sunday. I was just thinking about that a little bit earlier. I don't know. I don't really know what I feel like doing at this moment. Boy, if I could get some conclusive answers about whether or not people are getting content ID'd for doing like Nintendo Switch stuff and doing Smash Brothers, if I could figure out whether or not that people are getting ID'd for stuff that is inside it, specifically, I think the music would be doing the worst to people. If I could figure that out, then I would love to play Smash for stream. I don't know if I would be very competitive, but that would be fun. Wouldn't it be even cooler if I could do some multiplayer matches with people online? That'd be really cool. Open it up for you guys. But, yeah, I want to be very safe with that before I do anything like that. Thumbs up? Oh, yeah. And I definitely wouldn't want to do a stream if I knew for a fact that it was going to get content ID the second I would upload it to YouTube. Why not just try it and see if it goes up? I guess I could. I could try it in some capacity. I don't know. The thing is, usually when this stuff happens, I do follow a few people on Twitter that the second that they try and do anything with Nintendo-related stuff, they immediately complain about content ID and when it happens. So I've been waiting to see if anybody perks up. In theory, I guess I could try it. I'll have to think about that one. I don't have anything set up presets wise. Like I don't have anything set up involved with any of like the thumbnails and things. You could upload some World of Light footage to test it. Funny thing is, I think the cutscenes for World of Light, they probably would be IDing that in some capacity. They've said that they've changed their tone. I don't even know. Maybe just like I don't know if I would do this next Sunday. I think I need to do a little bit more testing. I could personally upload an unlisted video, and I could test to see if anything related to Nintendo gets flagged for like the new stuff that's uploaded. Maybe. I don't know. It's not Smash that I'm worried about. It's the fact that there's a lot of Nintendo branded music that has been content ID'd on my channel in the past that is in Smash, and there's really nothing I can do to avoid that. You know, it's going to come up in rotation. I think you can trigger a couple of things to be playing in certain places. I don't even know. Upload 1 second ago. Nintendo, is that a Smash Brothers I see? Content ID, content ID. Well, the funny thing is that it's not even Nintendo that does it. It's YouTube's content ID system. Like, they have no hand in it. They just upload their content and say, all right, anybody that's using our stuff, immediately monetize their videos. It doesn't really take them down. It just like makes it that you have to watch ads. And it's not the end of the world. I mean, I've had that happen before. One instance was when I was playing Star Fox Zero, and that was flagged on 13 different elements of the video, and I'm just like, oh, fuck this. I'm never doing any Nintendo stuff again. All right, never mind. Now you can see why I'm a little bit nervous about maybe doing something like that. Yeah. Power in the Twitch says Nintendo doesn't respect fair use. It sucks. Definitely. I mean, they're from Japan. Unfortunately, that's something that you kind of have to. They have a different ideology when it comes to this stuff. They have a different idea about protecting their IPs, and they're a lot more strict about it. At least this Conductor Smash Bros. Video is amazingly fun. Funny enough, the Conductor Smash Bros. Video has not been flagged, but I believe that video, the reason that it hasn't been flagged is because it is using the Smash Bros. Main menu theme, and if there's anything that they don't want to be flagging, it's that. I mean, like, why would you? Also, on top of that, I had it so that the music in the background for that was particularly quiet. I don't know if you could tell, but it is real dim in the background. And sometimes you can trick Content ID by making the music really quiet and then having overbearing speech over it. And actually, since the conductor is loud by standard, it kind of covers up the entirety of the song. But Nintendo ID is smart, man. It can pick out a whole lot of things. You damn dirty ape. I had a lot of fun recording that. But yeah, my throat hurt a lot after that. That's one of the reasons why I didn't want to do any of the Echo Fighters, because I'm like, you know, that's a lot of extra shouting that I'm going to have to do. I did like 3 takes for every single one of those lines, by the way. You know, so every time I had to yell, DJ Grooves, I did that 3 times. Can you understand why I would like to limit it to 70? Okay. I have been mumbling on about a whole bunch of random stuff. I think I'm going to head off. I'll think about this Smash Bros. Thing. Might not do it next Sunday. I'll think about what I'm going to do when it comes up. You're hyped for Ace Attorney 5 and Ace Attorney 6. You're ready to see me lose my mind over plot twists. So am I. All right, I'm off. Again, thanks for coming out. See you next time.